Da, 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 da. Man, you already know what it is. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, fam. We're back. Let me know if we're echoing. I got a couple different devices running at once. So if it's echoing, let me know. How's it sound? Check the comments. I'm going to let y'all pile in for a minute, man. Do what y'all do. And then we'll get into what we do. Thomas Lewick said, Jay, what's happening, my man? I'm chilling, man. I'm overworked. Got a little time with the family. Much appreciated. And it won't be long, and we'll be right back to work. Okay, everybody's piling in. In case y'all didn't know, I got my setup in front of me, but I also keep this. This shows me my comments in real time. This is on like StreamYard does a lag delay. That way, in case you say something, somebody pulls something out or does something they're not supposed to do, they can like shut it down before it happens. Somebody said, glad to see you looking so healthy. Here's the thing. If I shave tomorrow, everybody will say I lost 10 pounds. I've been at 197 for like 3 months. I can't. 197 is like my new weight. I was 225 when around the time, well, prior to quitting drinking, I was 225. And it takes a while to shed that weight. Now I'm at 197, and it's kind of like this is where I'm at. But we're going to go over a lot tonight, man. We're going to get into, is the prison genre dead? Have people put life into it? Is it moving in a positive direction? Just all of that in general. Just gonna read some of y'all's comments. We got some new mods in the house tonight. Let me check my list right now. So if you get in here and you say some stupid ish, you will get gone. Somebody said, Mark Cliver said, Ampel O'Head says, what it do, what it do. Ampel is my hood, man. That's where I'm from in Richmond. Y'all do what y'all do for a second. Let me scroll back through my comments and we'll get it going. I'll let y'all get in and talk amongst yourself for just a second. And we'll jump into there. See my dude Zebby is in the house. Boom. Wrench that up. Thought I seen dirt in the house. Scrolling back, scrolling back, scrolling back. So yeah, this past week I worked 76 hours, man. A lot of y'all know I run a business, I own a business, and I'm also a YouTuber. So with doing that, with doing that, it is my company. We have deadlines. I can't expect anyone else to work 76 hours. So I have to do it. And I did. I met my deadline and I'm tired. But I spent some time with the family last night. Haven't had much time for YouTube. So here we are. Somebody actually hit me up yesterday and said, hey, did you see that such and such is going on this podcast and he's doing this and doing that? That's cool and all. That's cool. This is not my full-time job. YouTube is a job, but it's not my full-time job. I have a full-time job and a company I have to run. So I can't just be catching flights, going here and going there, jumping on all these different podcasts. At the moment, that's not what it is. That time's coming. Like I'm sure that I could do that today. I could reach out and be on all these different podcasts, but I have a company to run. When this all goes away, the company will still be here. So for me looking at it, I'm doing the smart thing. I will start taking some breaks to go mingle with others, to, go do these live streams and these podcasts. But at the moment, that's not what it is. Right now, I'm trying to get this company to where it's self-sufficient. 7 years in, and when I mean self-sufficient, I mean it can just run without me having to be there. And to date, I have not found guys that I can rely on to step up and love it the way I love it, run it the way I run it, that I can trust the way I trust me. So I've got to be there. That's what it is. Answer some of these comments, man. Brandon Johnson said, where we go back? Damn, the comments are rolling fast. Let me go ahead and say this. Brandon Johnson said, Jay, I've been locked up for a decent amount of time, 5 years. It's crazy how positive you stay. To this day, I get nervous when cops walk in the store I run. I get that. That's PTSD. That's your habits. That's what you're used to doing. I have to stay positive. Negativity is going to bring depression. It's gonna bring a dark cloud over top of me, and I've lived that way a long time. It's not something I want no parts of. So I suggest you do the same, man. Shake it off. And for all my YouTubers, guys out there that are content creators, don't listen to the trolls. Don't let somebody that doesn't know you get under your skin because they don't know you. They're just looking for a response. And if you do happen to have some type of a tit for tat with somebody on YouTube, reach out to that person. Be a grown man. If you make a video about me or say something about me, depending on how the video comes across, if you're respectful with it, there's a good chance I'll reach out to you behind the scenes and be like, hey, get to know me, and I guarantee you'll change your opinion. But if you're just nasty and disrespectful with it, oh, no. You can eat a whole bag of tips, a whole bag of dicks, starting with the balls, and we're not going to talk at all. But for the guys that keep it respectful, I'll reach out. But I'm not going to go back and forth for the troll. Y'all seen Zebby, man. Y'all make sure y'all go check out Zebby. Check out his channel. He decided to start his channel up, and I think y'all should go check him out. My guy, Breadwinner Ruger in the house. And look at what Zebby's doing. I think Zebby's got a great message. I think he stands for something that he'll go a long way with this. He needs to get a little more comfortable with the camera, but that's advice I give to anybody. I had the same issue at first. Now the camera is just there. It's something I'm used to. Trying to find my man, Breadwinner Ruger. Hit him with that wrench. Damn, this is a lot of messages. I don't know if I don't think I can wrench from StreamYard. That's why I got the phone. So y'all gotta bear with me. Because what I can do is I can wrench from the phone and run the StreamYard at the same time. But that leaves me sitting here like this, scrolling through these messages. So real quick, what do y'all think, man? Do y'all think that the YouTube genre is moving in a positive direction or negative direction? Do you think that with all the guys that have come in the game that things are looking up, or this is the end? Honestly, this is my opinion. I don't think it's the end. I think things with the prison genre are just getting started. I think there's a lot of beefs to come, a lot of people to be helped with the content that's put out, and a lot of stories that haven't been shared. You know, we all have a story, but our stories, even though they may sound similar, they're not the same. I think there's a lot of people that are still, hey, my dude, Southside Frog in the house. What up, Frog? Hey, and salute. I think there's a lot of guys. There's Breadwinner. I think there's a lot of guys that are going to come along that are going to do great things that have yet to be seen. I think there's going to be guys that are going to become famous off of doing this content, and it's yet to be seen. But with that, we have to give it time. Still setting up. This is why I had y'all on hold off mode. So like I told y'all, I did a lot of work this week. A lot of work. 76 hours. I think I worked 17 hours Wednesday night and 20 hours Thursday night. Coming home and going to sleep for 2-3 hours, getting back up and doing it again. Has not been much time for YouTube. This is dude. So I wanted to jump on. I did jump on other creators' streams this week, their lives, just to show some love, to try to get some awareness brought to their channels. I'm not a guy that coming on your channel is going to require you to send me a cash app or nothing like that. At the end of the day, I'm just a guy that enjoys what he does. I enjoy making the content. I enjoy interacting with you guys. And as long as I enjoy it, I'll always continue to do it. John Stevens said, fuck the Lewinsky's. There's always going to be somebody that keeps you in your mouth, keeps you in their mouth, and tries to get famous off of you. And that's what a Lewinsky is. We know who Monica Lewinsky is. Salute to her. But she got famous from having Bill Clinton all up in her mouth. And that's what the trolls are, essentially. They're guys that are looking for recognition and some sort of a fame from having the next man in their mouth. I got a bunch of Lewinsky's, but it's way more love than it is hate. So I can't complain. My channel is, it's like, if I look at my analytics, I think it's like 99.3% love. So there's a 0.7 out there. I don't even know it's 0.7, 0.07 that have something to say. And that's really good when you look at the analytics side. Let me catch up with these comments. Damn, as soon as I catch up, I'm behind. But yeah, I had the chance, the pleasure going on with Big Weavy this week. New Age Plug, those guys, Breadwinner Ruger. Shout out to New Age Plug, Breadwinner Ruger, and my guy Ronnie Blue Eyes. I had a chance to link up with them to stuff with Cuzzo, Dirty Weather, Weavy. I'm trying to, people get offended when I leave them out. The Dope Sick Show. Y'all know AZ Ruction, Vegas Prison Stories, all these guys I tapped in with this week, and it was all out of love, man. Richard Cameron said it was awesome seeing you chop it up with Spencer. If y'all have not seen the Dope Sick Show, go check him out, man. That dude, in my opinion, he is one of the next on the YouTube spectrum to hit 100K. That's just my opinion. That's me observing and seeing, like, from what I know the platform to be and the layout to be, he's doing it. And he's got great content. Great content. I would have loved to have a dude like that in the cell with me. Just awesome. Big salute to HP Paper Stacks for the $50 donation. Sub J, in honor of you approaching 300K subs, just want to let you know your stories have held me down for a while, the past 18 months now. Thank you. Salute. Hey, I salute you, and I thank you for watching. You didn't have to do that, but please know that it is greatly appreciated. I love helping you guys. And people can hate. They can say what they want. But there are a lot of people on here that can come on, and if they wanted to, can say, Jay's helped me. He's helped me when it comes to advice in life. He's helped me financially. I've helped people in every aspect of what a man can do to help the next man. And that's what you should do if you get to the level that I've gotten to. You should use it to help others. People that it's all about me, 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 me. Oh, you want me on, pay me. Oh, it's me, 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 me. They're short-lived. People see them for what they are. This is YouTube. This is not Hollywood. You are not in theaters. You're on YouTube. And even though I'm not trying to downplay anybody's accomplishments, it's a major accomplishment to hit 100K, to hit 1 million, to get all those views. But at the same time, be real with yourself and always stay true to the fact of what it is, man. Be appreciative. Don't get bigger than the program. Don't think that just because you're on YouTube or you get more views than somebody that you're better than somebody else. You're not. My views doesn't make me better than anybody else. What I do on a day-to-day basis, behind the scenes, and in my life is what determines if I'm better than anyone else. Sex Fine Pro said free virtual girls chat. Yes, you got to go. We don't do that. Bye-bye. Shane Please said, I think Banky is a real one. I watch him as well. He might do Vlad TV. That would be amazing. You on there would be a great episode too. Banky is a real one. Banky is a real one. I didn't personally kick it with Banky in prison, but I knew who Banky was before I ever knew who Banky was, because the guys that I ran with were also guys that Banky knew, guys that Banky once ran with. We know a lot of the same people. And if I'm hearing his name, that means he's doing things, or that once upon a time he was doing things. That dude, if he tells you something, it happened. If he tells you a story he was in, it happened. Banky's not a liar. Me knowing him on a one-on-one level, he's not going to get on here and lie. If he tells you that something happened, he's going to give it to you just the way it happened, and you can bet that. And I wish my man nothing but the most success. And when I say next to hit 100K, I put Spencer in that. Banky will definitely hit 100K. Quick, fast, in a hurry. I'm talking about new up and coming in the last few months. There's a lot of guys that are going to make it. And then there's guys that aren't going to make it. And then there's guys that are going to fall out. Your friends are going to become your enemies. We've talked about this. And I want y'all to watch these channels and fast forward 90 days from now. Screenshot who's on these channels today and go forward 90 days, and you're going to see the conflict. It happens. I can't explain it. I don't want to say it's jealousy, envy, because I can't speak for anybody else and why they do what they do. But guys are going to fall out. I don't want to see it happen, but I know from personal experience that's what's going to happen. I've dealt with it. Did you see Lockdown 23 at 1 at Greensville Prison? I did. Josh was over in 9 building. I've said this before. We were in different buildings. I never knew him. I never kicked it with him. We never hung out, but I have a great memory when it comes to hearing, seeing life experiences. And I remembered Josh from us being down there with the maintenance. I want to say it was like 2007 or 8 down 9 building. We were doing something. And I remember seeing him walking with 2 other guys. And I remembered the pistols tattooed on his back. And when he showed his tattoos off, boom, it flashed right across my vision. Like it came across my mental Rolodex of that day I seen him walking with 2 other dudes. So yeah, I did see him in prison, but I did not ever, we didn't bid together. Username said, Jay, looking back, did you think you'd be affecting so many others on such a large scale, especially in such a short time? All right. First of all, it wasn't a short time. Most of these prison YouTubers these days are way ahead of me. These guys are getting monetized within a month, 2 months, 3 months. I was creating content for 15 months strong. I'm talking, might have been right at 16 months. I was pushing content strong and I was not monetized. I didn't network. I didn't do live streams with others. I didn't do interviews. I just pumped my content. I stayed true to it. I believed in myself. And with the help of nobody, it took off. Not to say that, yeah, it does help. When you, I can't say that. Let me backtrack. I was going to say, not to say having other people on your channel helps. It definitely helps. 100% networking helps. That's great advice to give to somebody coming up. Networking is going to help you. I didn't network. It took me 14, 15 months to get to where they are at today. So it didn't happen fast. But once it took off, everything came fast. Did I think I'd be able to help people on the level that I'm now helping people? Yes. That was the plan the whole time. I said it. If I can save one person, my job is done. And that mentality went from me being able to save one person to saving thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands. Who knows how many people I've affected? But to answer your question, yeah, I did. I did see the ultimate, the end game, the results I wanted to be was to help others. And it does. Let's jump back into the chats. Yes, and love. Joy Rodriguez said, "Is Big Lance okay? Do you know? If you don't know, it's okay, Jay. Just work your ass off. Much love from Vegas, G. Keep pushing." From what I know, Lance is good. Me and Lance talk quite a bit. Seems to be mentally strong, heading the right direction. But I think that the negative comments and feedback from everybody is kind of making him want to take a little break from YouTube. When you put yourself under the microscope, people will pick you apart. If you do one little thing, you rub your nose, oh, he's getting high. If you bounce around or you do anything, they're going to say you're getting high. So I think that kind of got underneath his skin. He's going to focus on himself. But do I think he's doing good? Yeah, I do. I talk to him all the time. I know from dealing with him when things are off, and I haven't seen anything that would lead me to believe things are off. I wish him the best. Y'all keep that guy in your prayers and anybody else that may be dealing with addiction. Man. These comments come so fast. I need like somebody in here to point out the comments. This is a topic I'm gonna hit on just momentarily. Jessica Bavalt said, Jay, how's your little brother doing since he got out of prison? I'm gonna go ahead and keep it real with y'all. But what I will not do, and I've told y'all this in the past, is I will not get on here and talk on somebody or bash somebody that I was once cool with. We fell out. We fell out not long after he got out. And I don't think we'll ever speak again. That's just where I stand. It breaks my heart to say that, but y'all need to understand this, and I need everyone to clearly understand this. Just because somebody's family does not mean you have to deal with them. If somebody is doing something, causing chaos, anything that brings or steals your peace, brings chaos to your family, your house, your everyday life. There's nothing wrong with separating yourself from that situation or that person. Everybody seems to think that because your family or you're related that you have to deal with somebody. No, you don't. And like I said, I won't bash him. I won't get into details, but we do not talk, and I do not honestly foresee us ever talking again. How sad does that sound coming from my mouth? But it's honest. And it's not something I did. It's not something I could stop. It's something I tried to stop, but I couldn't. So all I really could do was accept it, move forward with my life, keep my focus where it was, and not let the situation drag me down. Does it break my heart? Absolutely. He's my brother. I love him. And if he's watching, I love you. I'll always love you. But after what happened, nah. I'll never put it on blast, but nah. Nah. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Jenna Connor said, "Hey Jay, I'm a psychology student. I love watching your videos. Very educational. I tell people about you all the time." Well, thank you, Jenna. That's very nice of you. That's awesome. I have nothing to do with psychology, but I guess a lot of what I do does help people in that aspect. So I salute you and the trade you've chosen in life. Back to the comments. If I don't catch you, don't take it personal, man. I'm just trying to catch them. And as I catch them, y'all see how fast they're moving. Okay, look, here we go. Chris Pudo remind me of myself. Friends and family are downfall of most successful people. It's hard to say, but it's the truth. True indeed. True indeed. People expect to have what you have without putting in the work that you have. And then when their life takes a wrong turn or isn't the same as yours, you're to blame. Malachi Harris, Jay, would you ever go on No Jumper? Absolutely. Yeah, I'm at a point now where I go on No Jumper. Back to what I was saying in the beginning. Somebody hit me up yesterday. A good friend of mine named Adam. Adam, you're probably watching. Salute. And he said, "Do you know that such and such is going on this platform?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't have time for that. I don't. I have this company I have to run. I can't just put all my eggs in one basket. I do both. I YouTube and I run a company, and I have a family in the house. I have a 5-year-old little boy that expects to be tucked in by his dad each night. And I know we have to sacrifice things at times to get more out of life, more things. But with him being 5 and his expectations, I'm going to live up to his expectations and not YouTube's. And when the time is right for me to start traveling, flying, and going on this podcast and that podcast, that's when I'll do it. Somebody else, I believe, asked, "What's up with the podcast?" If you're going to give somebody something, don't half step it. I don't want to do a podcast where it consists of me on one screen and somebody on another. I want to do it where we sit down in person. I've learned from personal experience, bringing people to your house is not a good look. I can't podcast from home. My studio is at my home. And if I'm a podcast, you're talking 5 episodes a week, sometimes more. That's 5 different people, 5 different personalities, 5 different persons that I really don't know like that. With my studio set up being at home right now, I'm not bringing them to my house. And until I can find a location, which the money aspect of podcasting isn't a problem. I'm smart with my money. Like I've got all the equipment that's needed. I just need a location in the Richmond area. And with the market right now, there's nothing available. Sure, I can get a location down in the projects, but then I've got to worry about my guests getting robbed in the parking lot or people breaking in the building. So I'm trying to find something that's nice, pleasant to look at. We can do the work ourselves and make it because we'll always put our touch on it. But if I'm gonna pay for something like a building, I want it to be something That's nice. I'm not just going to take any location. So until I can track down a location, anybody in the Richmond area that's into real estate, especially with commercial real estate, if you know anything, hit me up. You know, a nice building, something around, I don't know, anywhere between 2,000 to 3,000 square foot that's got, the potential to be what I'm looking for it to be with a private parking, that's me all day. I just need to find my location. Once I find my location, we'll take off with the podcasting. I'll hire an engineer, bring him in, have him set up everything, and we'll go. But until I can give it to you the way I'm supposed to give it to you, I'm not going to half step. I'll do live streams and have guys on the live streams, but I'm not going to give y'all less than my standards. Najee said, your policy on not getting involved with he says, she says shit is without a doubt the smartest thing to do. There's so much going on these days. No good, man. True indeed, Shane. Who wants to get sucked into the drama? When you're at work and you've got a coworker that talks about everybody else or they're bickering, you're not going to walk over there and step in the middle of it and be like, what's going on? And just get caught up in it. And then with the YouTube drama, then you're forced to choose a side. I'm not going to do that. If I'm cool with this guy, I'm cool with him. If I'm cool with this guy, I'm cool with him. At the position I'm in right now, I'm neutral in these situations. I can be on a stream or on a live with guys that don't get along and then talk to both of them behind the scenes, and neither one of them be mad that I talk to the other guy, because I don't bash people. I don't talk behind people's backs, and I keep it real on both sides. Stay out of the drama. Don't nobody want to be caught up in a bunch of drama. Salute, Starbucks. Let's talk about it. Said, if you need an audio engineer that has a degree, hit me up. Hit me up on Instagram. Jay Let's Live Life at Instagram, and put engineer as the first word. You would have to be somebody local, somebody in the Richmond area. It would be one of those things where I'm talking about, like, you're going to be, that's a job. The engineering job it's a job. It would be a job opportunity for somebody, 40 plus hours a week, editing, all that different stuff. Even though I can edit myself, people say be stupid to do it. I don't know how to sync these cameras. I don't know how to get the lighting perfect and the mics perfect and cut from camera to camera. Be careful now, though, because if I figure it out, which I'm pretty good at figuring things out, a little more studying, and I will. But do you think Adam 22, when he gets off camera, he does all that? No, he doesn't have the time. I have so much on my plate, I would not have the time. With work, you're talking 40 plus hours a week. And then with being a boss and a company owner, my job doesn't stop when I leave the job site. Even when I'm on vacation, I'm answering calls, I'm doing invoices, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. With the YouTube, it's the same thing. I've got all these different jobs going on. I'm going to need help at some point or another, enable for it to grow. Derek Jacker said, how was prison on an everyday thing? Do you always have to watch your back, or does that become easier the longer you're there? It never really becomes easier. The possibility of danger always is right around the corner. The unknown is always right there lurking. And day in and day out, you learn to live with the tension. You learn to live with the paranoia of the unexpected, but it never goes away. It never, ever goes away. You learn to become a light sleeper, sleep differently. Like on the streets, you might have slept on your stomach. You get locked up, you're going to learn to sleep different. You're going to, become accustomed to more sounds. I see my guy Chill Will in the house, man. Much love to Chill Will. Let me see what Chill said. Come back up. What did I just do? Okay, there we go. Chill Will said, Jay, you can leave space in a hotel conference room temporarily until you get your permanent space. I respect your vision, but the world needs to hear your message. No disrespect. I thought that too, Chill, but with doing that, that's just me, a table, and some chairs. I truly, I don't know, maybe am I making excuses at this point? No, I'm not making excuses, because I know from day one what I set out to have. I want the keys to the building. I want to set it up the way I want it to be. I want you to be able to walk through the front doors, buy merch, waiting areas, photo areas, live areas, news area, you know, the recording areas. And these are things that I can't do at a hotel. Also, with bringing people on, they can't sit up in a hotel conference room. If dudes smoke weed, they can't smoke weed in the conference room. If they want to drink and turn up and get loud, they can do that at my space. They can't do that in a conference room because, well, we're going to get booted up out the building. I love answering these questions, man. This is great. Full Sack said, hello, Jay. Did your father ever teach you, either in a good or a bad way, how to put the dukes up, or did you learn on your own? He used to make us fight. My dad, at one point, owned a tree company, All American Tree Service, back in the 80s. And he had a bunch of rough and rowdy dudes that worked with him. And they had sons. And on Fridays, they would have they'd be unloading the chainsaws and doing all this stuff, ropes and trucks. And they would, this is going to sound crazy. It's going to sound unbelievable, but it's the truth. They would have us fight and bet on it. It was like a kid's fight club. 2 10-year-olds go at it. And you didn't want to lose because then you had to face your dad. Did he teach me how to fight? No. He taught me how to take a punch. He taught me what fear truly was. And once I learned to conquer the fear of him and the fear of what I had to deal with at home, the world didn't seem so scary anymore. After he died, it was like he was always the monster in my closet. He was always, my dad was my biggest fear. Not somebody in the streets, nobody in the neighborhood. I always kind of laughed that stuff off. My dad was the boogeyman. And when he passed, it took a lot of my fear with me. You know, a lot of the fears I had died when he died, which was a good and a bad thing because it caused me to get hurt on several occasions, going into a situation that I know better than to run headfirst into, but not having that fear will cause you to get your ass whooped. And I did. I do dirty weather in the house. Did you play sports inside? I did at times. I played handball. You know, the handball dudes, like real athletic. Um, Played one season of softball, and I come to realize something. Softball and baseball are not the same. You put me on, I was great at baseball growing up, like really, really good at baseball. You put me on a baseball field and I'm cranking fastballs, sending them bitches. I could call it left field. I'm sending it left field. You put me on a softball field, and I don't know what is wrong with me when it comes to softball. Dudes just knew because we had played fast pitch. And with fast pitch, I'm a beast. You get us out there on that soft pitch, swing, strike. And I'm looking like, what the hell? And when you swing and strike out, dudes on the sidelines are like, you suck. I'm not one of them guys that's going to be ridiculed. So I played one season, and that was it for me. I suck at softball. I'm all right at basketball. I ain't nothing to, I ain't no and one or nothing like that. I'm your basic basketball player. Football, give me the rock. I'm going to run my ass off. So sports, now I wasn't real big into sports, man. A lot of my time was spent tattooing. So the time I did have on the rec yard, I'd be chilling with my homeboys and them. But a lot of my days were spent in the building tattooing. James Johnson asking about black hat in comments. Run that comment again, James Johnson. I'm not sure what it was. Thank you, Chillwell. Salute, man. CJ Hunt says, if I have a stepbrother who spent the last 20 years in prison for rape, should I try to reach out to have any kind of support for him? No. You do what you want to do, but I'm going to say no. There are some things that cannot, in my eyes, be looked past or forgiven. If it is proven that he raped another human being, woman, child, man, whatever the case may be, it's not somebody you want to mess with. I said earlier, just because they're family doesn't mean you have to deal with them. I wouldn't. James Johnson, Jay, you got the email from me about the black hat. You said you mail out, sent a while ago, and you're pretty busy, so you might have missed it. I probably have. I'd like to show my emails to y'all right now, and then you would understand a little bit more about how my emails work. I can't respond to all the emails. I never expected to get that many emails, hit up that much on Instagram. It is so much that for me to catch up right now, I'd have to dedicate a full week of just reading to try and even catch up. But if you'll send it to me again, it's easier if you hit me up on Instagram and you put, Black Hat in it and attach something from your email so I can go back and find your email. That way I know it's you and I'll get it to you. I got no problem shipping things out. My problem is just the time. I'm one person and I try so hard, but I swear I'm just one person. I'm still kind of, just in case said, it depends on the rape charge. Certain rape charge can be blown at portion. I only say this because friend was falsely accused. I'm going to tell you this from my experience in being locked up. I met two men, two, in my entire life that admitted to what they'd done. I've met hundreds, if not more, that were innocent. They're not all innocent. Everybody's going to say this, that, because who the hell wants to be known as a rapist? Who wants to admit that they did that? Somebody will quickly admit to killing another person. Yeah, I killed him. That's what it is. It happened. I took his life because that's acceptable in society. There are at times reasons that a man could take another man's life. There's never a reason why you can rape or take advantage of another human being like that. So people won't own up to those type of things. The courts do find people guilty at times when they're not. That doesn't happen as much as you think it does. I mean, it does happen, but it's not like 8 out of 10 people that are convicted are guilty and 2 aren't. No, it's a much larger scale. There's a small portion of people that are falsely accused, convicted. But for the majority of the guys that are convicted of rape, they did that shit. Let's be real. They did it. I have met men that had women lying on them. Jonathan Montgomery, you can Google him, did time with him, did a story on him. I was around this dude every day. His neighbor lied, made up a story about him, and then came forward and said she lied. He was found guilty. This guy did not have a very good time in prison being known as being in there for a rape charge. He had a terrible time. And it was proven that he was innocent. But that is not the case for most men. It's not. Trying to scroll back. Y'all forgive me, man. All I can do is try to answer the questions. New Age Plug said, who would win in a hat battle, you or AD? I'd have to, depends, man. How many hats does AD have? I took pictures of my hats yesterday. And I'm going to post them this week to my community. I have a lot of hats. We're coming up with 300K, and that's why I said, if you ain't subscribed, go ahead and smash that like, that subscribe button. Let's make that 300K happen. And that's when I'm going to get rid of these hats. I can't get rid of all of them at once because it's going to cost a lot of money to ship all these hats out, but they've got to go. The hat room it's taken over. It's like, it's a room of its own, man. It's taken over. I try to keep them organized, but if I go looking for like a specific hat, I've got to mess up a couple hundred hats before I find it. But I don't know, man. That's a good idea, man. Y'all reach out to AD, spam his comment section and tell him, let's have the hat off. Let's see who's got it, man. You know what I mean? I've been doing this for a couple years now with the hats, and y'all seen them. I've got so many hats that I have hats I've never worn on camera, and I probably never will because I don't know if I've worn them. Now I try to leave the price tag on it, and once I see the price tag is gone, okay, now I know that's a hat I've worn before. But that's a good question, huh? Big guy. Did you ever make prison whiskey and how? Yes, we would make the wine. There's plenty of videos on here on how to make wine. And then I would take a jug. We had these cleaning jugs. They come in gallons. And I would clean that jug out really well. I would poke a hole, 2 holes in the top of the lid. One hole would have a hose that would run off of it to a peanut butter jar. And the other hole would have a wire that would go down inside of it with a stinger. I would boil the wine. The wine, as it boiled, like the condensation that comes off of that is pure alcohol. That's your liquor. And I would sit and watch it drip and test it and taste it until it was no good. And then I'd pour that back into another batch and keep cooking until I cooked it all off. But Yeah, we made a lot of alcohol. Said you got a lot of dope pats. Puerto Rico farmer, 300,000. Wow, you blowing up fast. Home, I remember when I started seeing you. It did take off. Slow and steady wins the race. You know, I didn't know what it would do. Man, I was at 297,000. It felt like forever. This last thousand took forever to get. So it's like, am I going to get to 300? Am I going to see a million? But I'm not a numbers guy. I'm not the guy that's going to watch the numbers. I'll more or less look like the like to dislike ratio to make sure that I'm not upsetting or offending people. I don't want to offend anybody. And if one of my videos has a lot of dislikes, that means I've offended someone in somehow. And that's how I'll see what my subscriber count is. But that 297 took a minute to get over. I'm hoping 3 doesn't take that long. But if it does, what's it matter? It's not about the sub count. It's not about the views, man. It's about the message. And if I never get any bigger than I am today, you know, I've helped people. And that there is the win-win. Damn, those comments coming in so fast. Catching up to y'all's comments, man. Bear with me. William M. Jay, what was one of the craziest tattoos you did in prison? I did a lot of crazy tattoos. I think this isn't one of the craziest, but I've talked on this. I did a dude's daughter's name all the way across the front of his throat in like in the Mexicali style lettering, if you know what I'm talking about. Like huge, all the way across the front of his throat, negative shaded, turned out beautiful. The dude didn't even know how to spell his own daughter's name. So he goes over to visiting room to show his baby mama. She's like, "You're an idiot. That shit ain't even spelled right." So he went over there like he's happy, and then he got shitted on. Didn't even know how to spell his own daughter's name. Then he got mad at me, and I pulled a piece of paper out. I'm like, "That's your handwriting. I keep all my patterns. If you write something down, I keep it." I pulled it out, showed it to him. Ain't that what you showed me? Right? That's the name you showed me. And he just looked like, damn. But there were certain tattoos I wouldn't do. Racist tattoos, I wouldn't do racist tattoos. I'm not doing swastikas, bolts, anything race related, because then guys want to know who did it. And with me being a white guy, especially having a bald head, if I'm passing out those type of tattoos, it's going to attach me to that group of guys. So I wouldn't do that. I did a tattoo on a dude of like kind of like an image of himself standing in the graveyard and a whole bunch of different tombstones. And when I asked him, we were in the middle of doing it, and I was asking about the tombstones. I'm like, "What are these family members you've lost?" You know what he told me? No, they're people I've killed. That was a crazy tattoo to do. And I'm not going to get into how many tombstones it was or the dude's name, nickname, or any of that. It was a lot of tombstones. And these had dates on them. And I legitimately thought it was like one of the things like, these are my homeboys, people I lost along the way. No, they were actual victims, people he had killed. That's probably top 5, one of the craziest tattoos I did. Hey, Boo J, please send a shout out to my brother Dutch. He's a special needs guy. Lives in a group home, and every Sunday we watch your stuff. Hey, Dutch, big salute, man. Hold your head up. You're blessed. You're alive. A lot of people didn't make it. Remember, whatever you're going through right now, you'll get through it, my brother, man. Smile. You woke up today. A lot of people didn't get there. Hold on, man. Just hang in there, and you'll get to where you want to be in due time. TJJ, you've helped many people. Jay, you've helped me. When I lost my brother last year, just watching you and your honesty, the way you tell stories. Y'all see, I can read, right? You kept me alive, and I appreciate you, brother. Let me soak that in for a minute. I'm glad to be able to help. Some of these stories, you might take something from one story and somebody else takes something differently. And I try to leave a message with each one of these stories. As long as you catch the message and you're entertained, then, I'm happy to help, man. Thank you for watching. Without you, there's no me. Chill Will, my guy, man. Me and Chill, we got to get up at some point, man. I got to meet you. I want to, we've talked. I know a good amount about you and your story, but we got to sit down face to face one day. Um, you're a great person, dude. The world needs more Chill Wills in it. People that give and want nothing in return. Chill Will said, smash that like button, everybody. The likes affect the algorithm. It helps the message out to more people. If somebody out there needs to hear Jay's message, it could save their life. True indeed. True indeed. Y'all smash that like button, man, and share these videos. I've had so many different people reach out to me and tell me, like, Jay, you said in one of your videos to just stop. And I chose to stop. And I've been sober such amount of time now. I watched you do it. I've watched others do it. Thank you. And that's a great feeling, man. It's a really good feeling to know there's somebody out there I've never met. I'll probably never meet. That's life is now moving in a better direction because of something I said, because of some advice I gave. That's awesome. Christopher Wilson, my uncle's a truck driver, and he has the over 60 of the cardboard 55-gallon drums with lids packed full of hats. He had over 25,000 hats the last time he counted. That was almost 5 years ago. Yeah, I ain't messing with that. I ain't got 1,000 hats. I've got hundreds, but I ain't got thousands. That's insane. Jay Kirk said, hey, check this out, Jay. I know that you've been out for so long. Your life has gotten so much better. It's time to upgrade the hat game. Start getting some fedoras, some Robert Grahams. I think this is me. I'm always going to be, who knows? I may grow into something different, but I think I'm always going to be a flat brim, Michelin Nash, new era type of guy. I came home and everybody was doing the bent bills, the curved hats. But y'all have also got to remember that when you go to prison, you kind of get frozen in time. It's a good way to put it. You kind of become frozen in time. I came home, and for the world, it was 2014. For me, it was 2004. So, no, I'm not wearing the clothes I was wearing back then. It took me a while to adjust to the clothing, but the hats, that's just my thing, man. I enjoy it. But who knows? We'll see. The Hoosier Crafts Workshop with a $10 super chat, super sticker. Hey, thank you, Hoosier. James the Hooper, yo, Jay, I've been in the system since 1994, and I'm 28 as of next month. My own guardian and family, long and gone, have been crossed by basically everyone I know, and I've been through a lot of ups. That is life. The ones you love most are the ones that can hurt you the most. And trusting somebody, you become vulnerable. You open yourself up to be hurt because they know how to hurt you, and they know personal things about you that others don't. That's why I try to keep my circle very small. I've been hurt to the point that my heart is scarred. And though I forgive and I move forward, I don't forget, and the pain never truly goes away. So you just learn from your past and don't make those mistakes twice. If you do, then you can no longer point the finger at anyone else but the man in the mirror. Chill Will said, and I'm sorry if I'm missing y'all's questions. Elias asked, how long did it take to get your construction business off the ground? Y'all gonna love this, man. It took a while. It started out with me. It was just me. And this is no exaggeration when I tell you 20-hour days, 6 days, 7 days a week were nonstop. I think my longest span was 8 months without a day off and no less than 16 hours a day. I was dragging. I lost so much weight from not eating and just working. The first 6 months of me having my company up and running, we were taking major losses. Didn't know the numbers, didn't know how to price the jobs, but I didn't give up. I stayed with it. I kept at it. I was telling somebody else this the other day. I would be on my job site building a deck, and I would be out there with a saw, sawing the boards by hand, hammering every nail in by hand. And there would be a house next door being built with everybody running their electric saws, their nail guns. And you look out and you see me. I'm this guy out back in a white beater, sweating, building this deck nail by nail, sawing every single board. And that was the mentality that got me to where I was. I did that until I saved up enough money to buy the right equipment, more tools, trucks, and I expanded. But to get it to where I was actually seeing a good profit with no worries, probably 2 years. It took me about 2 years. After about the first year, I started turning a good profit to where it was, it was running really well. I was making good money. But I would say it was about 2 years before I fully understood it the way I needed to. But the biggest thing is don't give up. So many things are going to happen along the way of you trying to get it started. You're going to take losses. You're going to do things wrong. There's going to be so many things that discourage you. Don't let those things make you quit. Those are the things that are put into place to see if you have what it takes to take it to the next level. He's only going to give you so much, man. He's only going to give you what you can handle. He's not going to dump all this responsibility on you. The universe is not going to dump all this responsibility on you if you can't handle what you're currently dealing with. It's got to be shown that you can handle this before any more is going to come your way. And I had a lot on my plate. I still do. And I manage it. And in showing that I can manage it, more gets dumped on it and dumped on it. It's the gift and the curse. I'm blessed to be at the level I'm at and to have what I have, but I'm also cursed because my entire life revolves around work in one way or another. Ascari Stevenson, do you still lift weights? Hell to the no, I don't lift weights no more. I am so beat up from lifting weights. When I got out of prison and I put them weights down, within that first year, I really started to feel the damage I had done to myself. I hurt myself lifting weights bad. And when I stopped lifting weights, that's when all the problems started. That's when the tears and the cracks and fractures and all the stuff I'd done to my body over time lifting weights started to rear its ugly face. It's terrible. Like, no, I don't lift weights anymore. I can't lift weights. I got a bad rotator cuff. Don't mean I can't fight. It just means there's certain positions that I can't put my arms in without instantly feeling pain. I slipped my number 4, number 5 in my back years ago and pinched my sciatic nerve. So I can just do the simplest thing. I can lift heavy things all day and my back will be sore. But in just moving the wrong way, I slipped that disc, re-pinched that nerve, and I'm hurt for the next 6 months. So weights, it's out of the question for me. I'd have to have a couple surgeries in order to lift weights, but no, I'm not going to do that. Uh, I'm reading y'all's comments, and I'm gonna let y'all jump in a second, and I'm just gonna read through some of what y'all have put up. I feel like I wish I knew how I could slow this down, but I'm new to StreamYard, so that's not something I can do. Nick Parent said, "Man, you can make a truck driver's day easy." I get a lot of love from the truck drivers driving down the interstate each and every day, which I do. When dudes drive by me, they love me, man, because like they said, they put my channel on. They drive cross country, and they'll literally start at video 1 and just let it play, and go cross country, back cross country, and by the time they're done with their route, they're only halfway through the catalog. Justin KJ, can I ask about how you know Banky and the After Prison Show? Did you do time at the same place as Joe, or is that a weird subject? No, it's not weird. I did do time at the same place as Joe. One of those situations, once again, if you go back and look through his prison photos, he's got pictures of him in a little bubble, which y'all seen Bubble on my channel. I knew Joe was the mural painter. The guy that was in my pod at the time, I was in 5B, was a big black guy named Fat Dave. Fat Dave could like eat. I'd seen this dude eat massive amounts of food, but he was a great artist. He was a great mural painter, and he used to leave out every day and go with Joe to paint the murals, whether it be in the visiting room, the gym, staff dining, the inmate chow hall. They would go paint murals, and that's how I knew Joe. I knew him from just seeing him as the guy that used to walk with the bag over his shoulder and paint. And then they had like a little inmate, like a prison news pamphlet that had little comics in it and stuff, and other articles about stuff coming up in the prison. Yeah, like there's stuff happening in prison. And Joe was one of the guys that had a little comic section in the prison pamphlet. So I knew him from knowing that he was like the prison artist and that dude was very talented. But once again, he was never anybody that I kicked it with. I did know Jellicoe, um, Dave from the After Prison show, Gay Dave. I seen him. I believe I was in 5B and he was in 5A, if I'm right. I might have that right or wrong, but he was somewhere nearby. I remember seeing him out back. Several other dudes that he's had on, I did know. Try to post his comments. I hope I didn't just hide it. There it goes. So what do y'all think? What do y'all? Somebody said something about Jellicoe. Said Jellicoe has hella talent as a movie editor. I'm not sure. I know he was a mentor up Indian Creek, man. I used to see him at this place called Smith Hall all the time, helping people and teaching people. He was a teacher's aide. Seemed like a really good dude in there. He was also the hustle man. He always had candy for sale, pornography, anything you wanted. Jellicoe had it. But I'm not sure as much as to what he's got going on these days, man. Rowdy Everlap. Normally, how much of someone who isn't a fighter have to have on their commissary books to have someone protect them? You don't really have to have someone protect you. You don't. Um, you standing up for yourself is usually going to be enough. You putting a target on yourself is usually going to be the reason guys are trying to rob you or extort you. But there's no set amount that you're going to pay somebody to keep people off of you. They're going to tell you what they want, and that's what you're going to pay. And even then, they're probably still going to end up robbing you. Scary Stevenson, did you and Mighty Mouse work out together in the penitentiary? No. I had a different squad. I knew him on, and I'm going to go ahead and clear the air for this because this is, y'all have been wanting to hear this forever. I knew him on his first bid. Let me get this clear. His first bid. He left and went home and caught a new case that I never knew anything about, um, and didn't know about until all this stuff on the internet came out. When I was locked up with him, he was locked up on some other charges, like street charges, and he went home and caught a new case and came back. I never knew he went home. I never knew he came back. When I was with him, he was on some street shit. And then I get out and I find out about the charges and this and that. But no, we didn't lift weights together. And I'm not here to bash the next man. Y'all know where his channel's at if that's what you want to do. That's not my thing. Did I know about any of that stuff? No. 100% did not know. When I did the interview on his channel, I was not a YouTuber. I had no idea. And then when it all came out, I just fell back, and that's what it is. But I was not locked up with him on the case that everybody talks about. I was locked up with him prior to that. He fell on two different bids. He did that first bid, and then I guess he got out and caught that new case and was sent back. I wasn't with him on that bid. He did that bid at a different location, and I was at a different location. But no, we didn't work out. My crew consisted of a couple solid dudes that I rocked with for many years. Heavy hitters, strong dudes. BK could push 4+ like it was no problem. Lift 315 like it was 135. We got it in. You know, we got big, we got strong, and we got hurt. Look at me now. All types of messed up. Oh, yes, Andy. Great question. Um, Malachi Harris, have you ever seen a prison guard you didn't like in the real world or someone you had beef with in prison? How did that go? Yes. I had a guard, a heavy set white dude from Hopewell, Virginia, that used to talk shit to me. And I was in the back of a transport one day. I got hurt and they were taking me to MCV Hospital, right? No, actually, I was going to Southside Regional in Emporia. There's a hospital out there. That's where I was going. Let's get the facts right. And I heard these transport officers talking about this guard. Now, they didn't know I could hear their conversation, but they're talking about, oh, he wants to floss his new car. He lives at his mama's house. He lives off his mama, acting like he's got all this and that. He takes that little prison paycheck and don't even help that woman pay no bills. Grown ass man still living in the back bedroom. I mean, this officer had words before. So we got to Oregon one day and I let it be known. I said, don't act like you can't be touched, man. Don't act like I don't know where your mama's house is in Hopewell. Dude's eyes got this big. I mean, like he thought I had really been digging to find out about him, but I hadn't. I just overheard something some guards said, and we had a situation there. Well, then we fast forward, and I've had this work good and bad. And I told that dude, I said, you wouldn't talk this shit to me if you saw me on the streets. You need to watch how you talk, man. I said, just like you think we're all just locked up, we get out. And if I was to ever run into you in the streets, what am I going to say when I see you? You were that cool guard, or are you going to be the dude that I want to tear your head off? Like, I was pumping gas. It had to be like 2 o'clock in the morning, getting off work one night, late nights. And as I'm pumping gas, I look up and there he stands on the other side of the pump. I just let it be known in that moment. Did I do anything to him? Nah, I'm not going back to prison. I'm not leaving my family behind. But I let him know pretty much, I just let you live. I can do whatever I want to you right now. And there's no one you could go tell. You can't write me up. You can't put me in the hole. Now we're men face to face. Now, if I wanted to hold you accountable for how you treated me when I was locked up, I could drag your ass in this parking lot. Drag you. And I know this gas station, these cameras don't work, and I could pull off and leave you laying here slump. But that's not who I am. I told that same guard, I said, I want you to take this as a learning experience when you go back to prison this evening or today and how you treat others. And then I ran across guards that I was actually cool with or that thought more of me than I knew they did. And they'd be like one of these sergeants I ran into was like, he ran into me in a store and he was like, called me by my name. And I looked at him. He called me by last name. He was like, Williams. And I was ringing up at the counter. I looked up at him and he had put on some weight. And I get to looking at him. And I said, do I know you? And he was like, smiled. He was like, yeah, you know me. I said, well, what's up? Like, I didn't know if it was beef or what. He was like, I'll holler at you when you're done ringing up. I'm like, you can holler at me right now. I'll holler at you. It sounds like some beef. I said, you can holler at me right now. He said, no, man, it's not even like that. Finish ringing up your stuff and step outside. Holler at me. Heart gets to beating. I don't know who this dude is. I don't know if it's something from the past. What's going on? Who sent you? I step outside and I instantly go into defense mode. What's up, man? You know what I mean? Like, he says, hey, it's me, Sergeant such and such. How you been? You look great. The tension, as soon as he said his name, I realized who he was. The tension eased up. And I gave him a rundown on what was going on in my life. And he said, I always knew. I knew that you would go home and do great things, man. Out of all the guys and he's a lieutenant now, he's got moved to another institution. He said, I dealt with a lot of inmates over the years, and you were the one that always stuck out to me in the way you carried yourself, even if I had to come to, a situation where you were fighting or there was this going on, or your name was brought up in a meeting or somebody dropped a slip on you. You were always that one inmate that I knew would go home and do something with yourself. And I told him the general area of where I lived at. And this man lived in my neighborhood. And we kind of shook and went our separate ways. And he was one of those guards that always played fair with everybody. He wasn't a dickhead. He didn't cause anybody unnecessary grief. So he had my respect. Misty Fisher, Jay, thank you for all of us your blessing. Thank you for sharing the advice and everyone your stories. May God continue to bless you and yours. Hey, thank you and salute Misty Fisher. Oh, I gotta respond to this. John Stevens said, how did Jingling get out of prison after all those rapes? Those rapes go unreported. Sad but true. If someone was to violate you in that type of manner, what are you going to do? You're going to go tell staff? Because guess what happens when you go and tell the staff? Well, the staff is going to lock Jingling up. And they're going to lock you up also because you're now part of a rape investigation. There's going to be a court proceeding, and everybody in the prison from there until the day that you either die or go home will know you as the rape victim. So the majority of what Jingling did was never answered for. I think there were some guys here and there that said little things about what happened, but would never follow through with it because even though it's something as heinous as a rape, telling on the next man is frowned upon in prison. So guys wouldn't say anything about it. And on top of that, a lot of the things he did without others knowing, so guys wouldn't say anything about it. He was a thief in the streets. Believe it or not, that's what the man was locked up for. He was more or less a junkie thief in the streets. He's a guy that would go in Kohl's and steal a bunch of T-shirts and then be walking down the street with shirts for sales. That was his MO. How he got out, I don't know. But I know he went back in because shortly after I got out, I seen a newspaper article with his face that he was rearrested. And prison is not anywhere you want to be, but it's a place that is there for a reason. It's in place for a reason. And people like him do not need to be in society. Let me catch up. Let's play catch up. Adamski A, the Advance. Been following you for a long time. Insightful. Maximum boost. Hey, thank you, Adamski, and salute to you. Trying to catch y'all's comments, guys. Trying to look for that comment that just, boom, takes everything to the next level when it comes to. Let me get this guy on here. Well, I'll just read it because I can't. It won't let me light it up. Ina said, been watching you ever since your Crown Vic days, and honestly, your growth has been an amazing journey to watch. Outstanding. You're an amazing person. Salute. Thank you, man. And I don't do the Vicks no more. I outgrew them, but I did love those cars. I appreciate you, Innocent. Thank you for watching. Trying to learn StreamYard. Trying to learn StreamYard. Benjamin Briscoe, is your free life as compulsively clean and tidy as you had your cell in prison? No. Salute, bro, from England. No, not at all. I am well put together mentally, well put together as far as the way I dress and my vehicles. I keep my cars nice, clean. But like my closet, like I'll take a shirt off and I'll mess the hangers up. I'm kind of messy in that category. And my wife takes it as like I do it to be spiteful, and I don't. I just had to live a certain way for so long that once I got out, I refused to live that way. Like I don't have to be 100% organized all the time. My bed doesn't have to be made all the time. Matter of fact, ruffle these blankets up. Like you live a certain way at times because you have to. Coming home, certain things that remind me of prison will trigger me and put me in a bad space. Like being told what to do. I do not like having somebody tell me what to do and tell me what to do more than twice. It triggers me, and it just it's all bad. As Lance would say, it's all bad. James the Hooper, I don't shed tears at all, but you reading my comment helped me know that there is at least someone that understands what I'm dealing with and cares. James Hooper, there's a lot of people that that understand. There's a lot of people that deal with addiction. I myself have dealt with addiction. I've battled pill addictions, alcoholism, Never really got into the dope or the crack. I did mess with the powder for a little while back in the days. And I know what it is to be an addict. And just like I know how hard it is to overcome addiction, I know how easy it is to make the choice to quit. Everybody that ever got clean started by making the choice to quit. Just like they chose to get high one day, they woke up one day and didn't say, "Today's the day I'm just going to become a junkie." You know what I mean? What do you want to be when you grow up? A junkie? Nobody ever said that. Excuse me. Nobody ever raised their hand when they asked them in class what they want to be. Nobody says they want to be a junkie. But it happens. Nobody says I want to be an alcoholic, but it happens. But then people make the same decision, but in the reverse aspect. You wake up one day and you say, "I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of the power you have over me. I'm tired of what you've taken from me. I'm tired of you having control of my life. Come on, let's do this shit. Let's get sick. Let's get it over with. Let's get it behind us. Yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, it's going to suck. But you can get your life back. How hard are you willing to fight? How much fight do you have in you? That's going to determine whether you can beat it or not. What's inside? What's up here and what's in here? You know, you got to weather that storm to get to the sunshine. You know what they say, after it rains comes the sunshine. When you're caught up in the rain, you continue to do what you do. You're just going to continue to get rain. If you want that sunshine, you're going to have to go through that storm. Wake up tomorrow and say this: "I'm not doing it no more. I'm tired. I'm done." Cut the people off in your life that bring it around you. Cut the people off in your life that encourage you or that promote that type of lifestyle. I don't care if you cut people off to the point that it's just you. That's better than the alternative. I've lost so many people at this point that I don't have many people left. And talking to Big Lance when he was at the airport, and Bigfoot, shout out to Bigfoot, man, when it picked that man up and drove him away from the airport and over close to where he lived to get a room. I shed tears when I heard that. Lance will tell you, I was on the phone, I was crying because it restored my faith in humanity. There are good people out there. And I'm not the only person that will send kind words your way. James Hooper, you're going to do what you want to do at the end of the day. And at the moment that you think that you're fooling somebody else, you're fooling yourself. Go get your life back. Keep your life. Make it better than ever before. But nobody can do it but you. Unmasking. Yo, I got so much respect for you. You really changed my mindset, bro. Also, how was your brother that was in Max doing? Also, any plans on a meet and greet? Me and my brother, we fell out. We don't talk. February will make a year since we've last spoke. I talked about this earlier. I'm not going to get into details, but I do not foresee us ever speaking again. There's some things that they say you forgive and you forget, right? Like I can forgive, but I can't forget. I forgive, but I can't allow something to happen again. I can't. Not knowing when you know what somebody's capable of, it's kind of psychotic on your behalf to put yourself in that situation ever again. But I wish him the best of luck. I hope that wherever he's at, he's doing well in life. Bass Brown, who was that guy that said "fuck all of y'all" when he walked out the prison that ran over? You're talking about Big E. Big E was a yeah. He had family, so I'm not gonna say he deserved to die, but he didn't have a real big place in this world. He didn't do nothing but bring misery to everybody. I'm pretty sure that's who you're talking about. Nothing like it. What's good? Hey, salute and thank you. Nothing like it. What's good is life. Elijah Benvides, I believe. So sorry if I said your name wrong. Hey, yo, who do you think was worse, Treetop or Jingling? I don't think there is no worse when it comes to sexual predators. Any sexual predator is the same as the next sexual predator. They both did the same thing. They both used violence as a means to gain what they wanted, and they're both sick individuals. They both are the exact reason that penitentiaries are made. James Johnson said, Jay, I only use Facebook and Gmail. Subject email was black hats. Let me grab my phone real quick and take a picture of that. Boom. Yeah, I got you, bro. I'll check my emails and I'll type in black hat and that subject line should pop up. So what do y'all think of the term with the prison genre, man? What do y'all think? Y'all think somebody had made a comment a while back saying the prison genre is dead, the prison genre is dead. I want y'all's input on what y'all think as far as the prison genre. I don't, everyone else has labeled this the prison drama. I don't call it the prison drama, even though that's kind of what it is. It's not what I see it as. For me, it's kind of self-help, it's storytelling, it's life, it's true crime. They just put the title prison drama on it. It's entertainment. I don't think that it's going anywhere. Like I said earlier, I think there are yet to be some stars to come out of this. There are a lot of guys that started off doing prison YouTubing that moved on to other platforms, that moved on to other subjects, that made it, that are doing great. I myself am looking to transition over into true crime. I want to cover stuff that's happening in major cities, small towns, stuff the world don't know about, put my spin on it and put it back out there for y'all to watch, listen, and enjoy. That's what I think. I think that as long as people are getting locked up, as long as this platform exists, and as long as we got all these different characters and personalities out there floating, it'll never go anywhere. That's like saying that, this genre is going to disappear, this genre is going to disappear. No, there are people that make the genre look good, and there are people that make the genre look bad. But I don't think that any one person can speak for the genre as a whole. I think that y'all love some of us, like truly love us, love our channels, myself included. And just that love itself is never going to let it die. To say the prison genre is dead or is going to die would mean that my shit's going to die too. I'm not going anywhere. If anything, I'll just I'll just turn into something else. You know what I mean? I'll morph. What does a butterfly do? They call it when he's like whatever that word is. I'll change with the times, but I'm not going anywhere. I love this. I love what I do. I love you guys. I love the interaction. And we'll keep right on doing what we're doing. Nothing like I said, Jay, do 60 days in. I'm not big on the reactions. And not only that, I don't know how to do reactions. I've started looking into it. 60 days in, there's some truth to it, but a lot of stuff is made for TV. They're not showing you everything. What they're not showing you is the stuff that really happens behind the scenes. They're not showing you no guards disrespecting inmates like talk about. Every now and then they'll do it, but they want to show you what they know is going to get views, drug use, fights, things like that. What they're not showing you is the dude that's sitting in his cell crying because he can't make bail. That's what they're not showing you. They're not showing you the guys that if they don't take medications, they flip all the way out. They're not showing you the guy that's in there that's innocent, that's fighting his case. They're not showing you the gay guys that are constantly under pressure from other men that are in there. There's so much they leave out when it comes to those type of shows because it's made for TV that I couldn't attach myself to something like that. The Hoosier Craftsman said, Jay, what will happen with the school shooters in prison? They're going to PC them up. You better not. Here's what's going to happen to guys like that. They become a female. They're 100% become somebody's female. Guys are going to hurt that guy, put hands on him, abuse him to the point that he's going to need protection. And the only thing that's going to save him is becoming someone's girlfriend. So he's going to go find him some ginormous looking dude that looks like he's straight off Fraggle Rock to hold him down, and he's gonna become that dude's slave, and that will be the rest of his life. In my opinion, them type of people should not be allowed to continue to live. If you have opened fire on children, walked into schools with a weapon and opened fire, you should not go to prison. You should go straight to hell, and your trip should be expedited. You should get front seats, like no waiting in line. You should get there quick, fast, in a hurry. But them guys are not going to have a good time, and they are 100% going to become somebody's girl. Misty Fisher J, how is Philly doing? Praying he's going to be released very soon so we can start living his life as a free man. Again, free Philly. Philly's doing good, man. He's doing good. I don't think we talk. I don't have as much time to talk to him these days as I always did. Doesn't mean I don't love him as much. I just don't have the time to talk. I don't. He didn't fall underneath the new law that's releasing people, but with the latest, he's on a 9-year sentence this time. He doesn't have much left. A year and some change, and he'll be home. And I have great hopes that he'll do right. But then again, I've had those same hopes for everybody. We spoke about little Bubba, and he's locked back up. Last time I seen him, we went to the beach. He'd never been to the beach. I said, "Grab your girl, let's go." I took him to the beach, all expenses paid. He's like, "I ain't got no money. I'm not worried about that. I didn't ask you if you have money." I said, "Let's go. Let me go show you the life you can live if you let go of that life." And I thought we had a great week, and we came back, and he left, and I didn't hear not a single word from him. Not thank you, not how are you doing, how's your kids. The next message I would be from somebody that said, "Hey, Bubba said he's trying to get in touch with you. He's locked up." This would be many months later. No, 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 no. I'm done with that. I'm done with the drugs made me do it. It wasn't me. You knew what you were doing when you did it. You know what I mean? So stop. Um, moving forward. Like I said, I hope that these guys get out and do right, but the honest reality is very few will. Most guys don't. My guy Mark that just got out. Big salute to you, Mark. Shout out to Mark if he's watching. Is doing amazing. I have never to this day seen a man get out of prison and get his license the following day. When he told me he's got his license, I said, "Man, look at it and say, does it say identification card or license?" He looked at it. He was like, "No, says driver's license." I couldn't believe it. Somebody gave him a broke down truck. He got out there and turned wrenches. This man had done right at 20 years. And in the first month of being out, he's already lapsed some people that have never been to prison. And that's all in your drive, your dedication, what you want in life. He knew that when he's like, one day I'm going to get out and I'm going to catch up for all the time I lost. He didn't get out and start chasing women and run back to the neighborhood. He was out. No, he got out and started chasing all the normal things that everybody in life should want: a job, a house, a car, a family. He shocked me, man. And once again, hey, big up, salute to you, Mark, man. Very proud of you. Scrolling through the comments. Uncle T, yo, Jay, did Big E ever get into it with anybody else that was solid, or was everybody he dealt with was soft already? The dudes he hung around were dudes that of the same caliber. They were the bully type that preyed on others. Yeah, he got into it with other dudes, but when dealing with um, he was off in the head. He was one of those guys that was just off. He was loud. He was obnoxious. He won a lot of his fights without ever putting any hands on people, because you ever met a man that could strike the fear in somebody without touching them? That was him. But he also picked and chose the battles that he fought. You know what I mean? He's not going to go up there and phone check somebody like Treetop, but he'll go up there and phone check somebody Treetop size that doesn't display that violence. Like, those guys know what they're doing. And then there are some guys that I've met that just do not give a shit, that are straight savage, barbarian status, don't care who it is, got no get rights in them, can't act right, live or die. They don't care. And that's a common thing in there. You're going to deal with those dudes. There are some true maniacs locked up in the prisons, in the jails right now. Revolution Rising. How do you support the homies from your past and still maintain boundaries with them? I having to deal with other people's drama and BS, but I am extremely loyal to my people. Sometimes you are loyal to the wrong people. You need to ask yourself this when dealing with somebody. Is the love you're putting out going to be reciprocated? Would they do for you what you're doing for them? That's what you need to ask yourself. Don't let people take advantage of you. We all have big hearts and we help people at times and we do things at times knowing that this guy is getting over, knowing that his intentions are wrong, knowing that he's lying, but we still do it because that's who we are. How do I maintain those boundaries? I set those boundaries. I speak my mind. Like if I feel a type of way, I'm quick to tell one of my homeboys, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. First of all, don't play me like I'm stupid. Like I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. Don't insult mine. Like I've known you for a long time. Cut the bullshit. This is what's really going on. And if we fall out in that moment, and that's all it took for us to fall out, then we weren't as close as I thought we were. You know what I mean? Or you made it seem we were. You have to set boundaries with everybody. There must be boundaries in place for people to understand what you will and will not accept. You're not just going to walk over top of me. You're not just going to talk to me any type of way. And the only way to do that is by setting boundaries. And once you set those boundaries, a lot of people are going to disappear. Once they see they can't use you and they can't walk over you, they're going to peel off. Keep those boundaries in place. They're very important. And for the mods, if there's somebody in here that's doing something they shouldn't be, take care of them. I'm not impressed with his StreamYard. But what I will do, let me see. Big bald bastard. So nobody can take your name seriously. Dorothy Fumanek said, what about your friend that came home and you found out that he killed his girlfriend? He's out. And we don't know, nobody knows that he killed anybody. Nobody knows that he did any of that. It's what the media said. That was the picture they painted. He was a number one suspect. He's out. He did his time on the running from the police. He ended up wrecking in the middle of a field, all because he was smoking weed at a GameStop. He took his gun out, shot himself in the chest, missed his heart. I believe he slit his wrist and took a whole handful of Percocets, and he lived. He did his time, and he's out. Not somebody I talked to, but at the same time, there's not many people I talk to. Patrick's Music, AJ, thanks for the content. A year plus, I'm still entertained. Thank you. Without you, there is no me, man. I'm doing what I can. Is Wild Man out? Wild Man is dead. I talked to somebody else, and I think I told y'all this a while back. I talked to somebody else, and I mentioned his name, and they said, well, you know, he died. Like, he died. And I said, no, I didn't know he died. And they didn't really get into a lot of details, but he has passed away. He was one of those people that if he was left alone, you ever seen the movie Sling Blade with dude Carl? Mm-hmm. That guy. He was a lot like Carl. He was quiet. There was a little bit of mental issues there. And for the most part, he didn't mess with people unless he was messed with. But if he was messed with, he would take it way past where most people are capable of taking it, which is straight to homicide. So in hearing that he had passed, he was somebody, it's weird to say that he was somebody that I don't know if I can put the label of friend on. He was an associate. He was somebody I got to know a lot about over the years. But in getting to know more about him, it taught me a lot more about people. That don't judge a book by its cover. Here he is, a 50, 60 some year old black man that at first sight you would think you could just walk all over, these big black frame penitentiary glasses, a big mole right in his forehead. And you would think you could talk to and just do whatever, not knowing that in a split instant he would kill you and take your life. Those type of guys are some of the guys that taught me the most, man. All right, James Johnson, thank you. I got you, man. John Stevens, men talk shit about other men in the free world who pay drug addicted prostitutes for sex. How would female drug prostitutes be treated by men in prison? Like queens. Dudes in there will sleep with anything. When you got guys that claim they're not gay that start sleeping with other men because they cannot control their sexual urges, I think that kind of answers the question for itself. I've had guys actually argue with me. I'm not gay. I'm not gay. Yeah, you're gay. No, I'm not gay. I only do this because I'm locked up. I'm pretty sure you're gay. No, I'm telling you, if I was on the street, you're gay. It's okay. Be yourself. There's nothing wrong with being who you are. But if you've got to try to defend yourself from it and argue about it all day, you might want to just stop and think about what you're saying. But prostitute, guys wouldn't give two shits if that girl ain't had no eyeballs, no legs, and a foot growing out the side of her neck. They would sleep with her. Malachi Harris, have you ever seen a choma or someone with really messed up charges, but were really about that life and didn't become preyed on? Yeah, plenty of times. You got to think, man. Guys pick and choose, even with the bullies and the inmates in prison. They pick and choose who they're gonna go at. I've seen sex offenders that were damn near 7 foot tall that could literally pick you up as if you were a kid, or just thunk you on top of your head and smash your head down between your shoulder blades. And people know that they have messed up charges and not do nothing about it. But here's the great thing about YouTube. Everybody loves to talk about what they would do, right? Oh, I wouldn't live around them. Oh, no, he'd have to pay for that. You got 5 years. You do know that if you stab somebody in prison or kill somebody in prison, just because you're in prison does not mean that you don't still stand up to the same laws that everybody else does. If you break a law in prison, a law that's in place, you're going to court. You're going to jail. You're going to be resentenced. So you may take something as simple as a 5-year sentence and turn it into a life sentence because you've killed the sex offender. And you can't sit there and say, well, you would never have them living around me. I ain't dealing with it. You say that, but if you were to put in your address right now, sit down and just take your phone right now, right? And just type in sex offenders near me. And look at how many of them live near you. You would be surprised. Are you going to go kick in doors tonight? Or are you going to get in your car and drive around the corner knowing that that man is a sex offender and go beat him up, stab him, shoot him, or kill him for something that he did? You're not. And you know why? A, you don't want to go to prison. B, you don't want to lose your family. And in doing those type of things in prison and attacking those men and killing those men and stabbing those men, unless you've already got a life sentence, that's what you just gave yourself. Call your mama, call your sister, call your daddy, call your son, and tell them, I'm never coming home because I just killed a sex offender. And you know what they're going to say? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You are in there for doing drugs and you killed somebody, so now you're a killer? You threw the rest of your life away. And when I'm telling you, the courts do not play mercy. They will not play mercy on your behalf because of that guy's crimes. They don't care if he was on every news channel in America and they know he was the biggest piece of shit to ever walk the earth. They're still going to sentence you as if he was the pastor of a church. So you taking him out of here, when you killed him, you killed yourself. Yes, those guys walk amongst us. In the moments we can hurt them, we do. In the moments we can extort them, we do. When we can make them pay, we do. But if you think you're going to be the prison vigilante that runs around making every sex offender in there pay for his crimes, you're going to become a crash test dummy that's going to end up doing 23 and 1, locked up in the mountains somewhere, facing all these court cases that's never coming home. The thing with prison is you get in and you get out. It's like special ops missions. You want to get in. The mission is to do your time and get home. Get in and get out. You can do things in there that cause you to never get out. Keep that in mind. When you get into a situation that you and another man, every time I got into it with somebody else, a knife play came into the situation, that my two biggest fears were, one, him fatally stabbing me and me dying and me not being able to make it home. And two, me killing him. What if I kill this man in the cell? I'm going to have to go to court for first-degree murder. And I'm never going to see my family again. These are the real things that happen. The real things you better be focused on when you're in there. I had another homeboy that he knocked a dude out. This is one of my dudes that just got out. Norman, salute to you. He knocked a dude out at a card game in the jail. That dude hit his head, went and lay down and died, had an aneurysm, messed his brain all up. My homeboy was charged with manslaughter. He's lucky he didn't get hit with murder. All over a card game, one punch. And the dude hit his head on the table, messed something up inside his head. He killed that man. Didn't mean to. I think he was doing a 2-year sentence. Could have easily turned it into a life sentence. HR Paper Stacks. Hey, big salute, man. He says, salute, Jay. I remember you told the story about your homeboy BK from Brooklyn telling you how Brian caught his body. Did you ever tell the story about how BK tricked the crap out of you? Salute. No, and I didn't. And the reason I didn't is because I didn't know all the facts. And then looking back on them, I'm glad I didn't, because I would have put a bone on BK that wasn't true. Somebody told me that BK was a sex offender, and they sent me a link and everything with the name, the date, the case. I said, oh, what the hell? My homeboy, like, I read his paperwork on his bodies. I knew he killed 2 people. And there was another person that was forever paralyzed. So when looking at it, I'm like, yo, I'm getting angry. Like, I've been tricked again, right? Like, to find out if somebody you around had a sex charge is so frustrating, because you feel like you were tricked. Like, you ask that person while they're locked up, you believe that person, you put some sort of faith in them, and to find out they lied to you and they had messed up charges, it's like a slap in the face. It's a very bad day when you find that out. And that's why I said BK tricked me, because I had information to lead me to believe that he actually also had a sex offense. I never made that video because I dug deeper and I found out that it was not him. That's why it's always good to make sure you know what you're talking about before you say it, because I could have easily put that man on blast and been dead ass wrong. But no, he wasn't. He's a good dude. I think his release date right now, he's been locked up since the early 90s. And I think his earliest possible is like around 2070, somewhere around there. So he will never come home. Somebody asked, Karen Clark said, are you inspired by anybody famous? I just watched I'm going to pull it up real quick. Let me find it in my YouTube so I can tell it to y'all. I just watched I want to say his name is Richard Cabral or something like that. Let me look into my library real quick. I definitely would suggest y'all watching this. And if you like the Mayans TV show, he was on there as well. And he's La Raza. He was actually a gang member, I believe, from East LA. If I'm wrong, don't kill me. I'm just a messenger. John Bernthal learns the mentality of a teenage gang member in East LA. Real ones with John Bernthal. Bernthal, excuse me. And this dude, hold on. His name is Richard Cabral. He goes into, on this video here, he goes into details about shooting a man. And he goes into details about his lifestyle and what it was growing up in East LA and the brotherhood he formed with the other kids in the neighborhood and what all that meant. So y'all make sure y'all go check out Real Ones with John Bernthal. He's also the actor from, the Walking Dead series. He also played the Punisher on Netflix. His new show is awesome, man. But Richard Cabral is somebody that I look up to. He's also someone that had a very rough life and that took it, turned it around, and is using it to help others. And I can only dream to one day make it to that level, to make it to a level and a platform that large to stand on stages in front of thousands. So yeah, I do look up to him, but not a lot of like when it comes to actors. Um, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is the truth. He's an amazing guy that speaks his mind. The dude that played in Training Day. I'm tired. As y'all can see, I'm starting to get tired. There's so many great dudes out there, so many great actors that it's hard to put a name on one, but yeah, a lot of them. Is Radar still at Greensville? He may be. Christopher Bays, Jay, do you still tattoo? No. Have to consider doing it legit as a business venture? No, I can't. My eyes are not what they used to be. Even sitting here with these lights coming at me from both eyes and the lights in front of me, my eyes are burning. You'll see I keep blinking. My eyesight is not what it used to be. And you do not want somebody tattooing on you that can't see. MK Private said, dude, you are standing in front of thousands. You're right. You're right. I think it's just a difference. Like with what he does, he goes back into schools. And I'm standing in front of thousands. Yes, indeed, truly, 100%. But I'm talking about with a mission of trying to save everyone in that room. I'm not saving everybody here. A lot of you guys are very smart. A lot of you guys have never been in trouble. Y'all have already been down that road. Y'all know right from wrong. I'm talking about stepping into a building where I aim to change the lives of people who have yet to live their life. Talking about stepping into a building full of children and teenagers and actually having them listen to me, walk out of there and go in a different direction than what they've been headed, and know that they're not going to end up where I was. It's a sad day when you're a child and you're in a cell. It truly is. It's sad when they're passing out razors and you don't even have facial hair yet, but you still want to raise your hand. Hey, you need a razor? Yeah, I need a razor because you want to look like one of the big kids. It's sad when you can look out your cell window and see kids in the neighborhood next door. Because our detention center on Cross Road, you would see kids riding streets down the bike. Riding down the streets on their bikes. I would look out and see kids being kids, just running around playing. And here I am, this little guy standing on this bunk inside this cell on my tippy toes, trying to look at the kids playing outside, and I'm already incarcerated. That's the type of stuff I want to stop. I want to stop men from coming out of prison and going back to prison because they're really not. They have these programs in place, but they're money programs. They don't care if you participate. They don't care if you get anything out of it. All they care is that they have a body in the chair and that they can show the people that's funding these programs that people are attending. But people really need help. There are men out there that, if given the right guidance, someone to just listen to them, to stand by them in their moments of weakness and guide them, that could go on to be great people. That's what I would like to do. That's the change I look to make. Almost to 300,000 subscribers. So let's subscribe and run them likes up. Facts. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. The more people to subscribe, the further the message goes. But I'm not going to ask you to do something you don't want to do. If you think I'm fake and full of shit, don't subscribe. Don't watch. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to get on here and lie to you. I have nothing to gain by lying to you. I've told stories that are embarrassing. I've talked of my triumphs. I've talked of my losses. I've talked of being knocked out. I've talked of getting my ass whooped. These are things that happened in my life. I thought about it the other day, right? And it's like God or whatever. If you don't believe in God, whatever. It's like I've been lined up to be at all the wrong places, all the wrong times, at the right time. And in doing that, it makes for amazing content. It makes for a crazy life full of stories, but it also makes for a lot to deal with mentally at times. Like when I see things on TV and it's like they're trying to like portray what somebody's face looks like when it's smashed in. I've actually seen somebody's face smashed in. I've actually seen the damage that a big blade can do to muscle and skin. And I'm always at the wrong place, but it's played into my favor when it comes to this genre. No, I just I retell it to the best of my ability, and I don't have to lie to do it. Some people can't remember what they had for breakfast yesterday. Some guys don't remember their conversation they had with somebody from last week. I retain these things. I'm like a sponge. At 42 years old, I soak things up. Talking with my son last night, helping him learn his short vowels for kindergarten and stuff. Me and him were talking about what I wore my first day of kindergarten, what my kindergarten teacher's name was. And then he asked me about my first grade. And I like ran down the names of all my teachers, and it just reiterated like how great my memory really is. But that is once again the gift and the curse, because there's some things I wish I didn't remember. And there are some things that my mind has mentally blocked out. There are stages in my life, like third grade. A lot of third grade for me is a blur. And I think that's because there was so much violence happening at my life in that time, so much child abuse I was suffering at the hands of my father, that I kind of went to somewhere else mentally. And to keep me from just going all the way off my rocker or becoming a nut, whatever you want to call it, my mind went somewhere else. So there's a lot of that 8-year-old Jay that I don't remember. But everything before that and after, I remember very clearly, man. JTP channel said, Jay, man, love the channel. Have you talked to Jacob Aquino or what's going on with him? I have talked to him. I haven't talked to him this week because I was so busy with work. He just went up for parole again. And I got to go ahead and give a big shout out for this. Big salute and shout out to Chad Marks, man. If things don't go right with Jacob Aquino's parole and he's not released this time, from what I'm hearing, Chad is going to take the case on and do everything he can to help try and get Jacob out of prison. He's now going on his 23rd year, man, on a 36-year sentence. And let's leave the whole, let's say he didn't do it thing aspect out of it. Leave that out of there, right? I know he didn't do it, but we're going to leave that part out of there, right? And say he did do it. 36 years for a crime where nobody was hurt. 36 years for a crime where people just went on to live their lives and thought this man, with this young man, this juvenile, this teenager, they thought he would be out in a couple of years. He was sentenced with the jury under the impression that parole was still around and he would get out in possibly 5 years or 10 years. They didn't know that when they gave him 36 years, it meant he was going to do 36 years. 23 years later, he's not the same person he was when he was 19. At 43, he's not the same man he was when he was 19. Should he still be in prison? No. Yet they sentence men that actually kill people to 8 years, 10 years, 12 years. I just seen the other day where a dude got 8 years for killing another dude, point blank range, shooting him in his face over an argument. He got 8 years. Jacob Aquino is doing that times 4. And a crime where not so much as a hair was ever disturbed on anybody's head. It's wrong. It's wrong. I know at the end of the day, yes, don't commit crimes and you don't have to worry about these things. True indeed. You say that shit all you want until it's your brother, your child, your mother, your father, or somebody you love that's locked up, and then your tone will change. But yeah, he went up for his parole hearing. Keep your prayers for Jacob, man. And once again, much respect, man, and salute to Chad Marks for even thinking about taking his case on, man. That's love, man. And if you could help get my homeboy, my friend home, I'll forever be in your debt. I've known Jacob since high school. I've known him a very long time, and I can say he would never go back. I can say he is a good person. He's a good man. He's a good father. His time has been served 100 times over. There's no reason for them to keep him there anymore. There's not, but they do. Carpe Anonymous said, I did enjoy the live. Were you involved with the other prison channel YouTubers? I missed the second one. It's a good platform. Look forward to others to follow more in the future. Absolutely. I'm kind of become a recluse. Prison is a place where you cannot escape being around other people. All day, every day, you're surrounded by others. It gets old real fast. You get tired of being around other men every day, all day. You get out of prison, you don't want to hang out with a bunch of people. You spent a decade listening to yelling, a decade with guys acting like idiots, a decade surrounded by men all day, every day. I got out and I wanted that privacy. I didn't want to be surrounded by men, guys all day, every day. And I didn't. So with me jumping on other platforms, this is something new to me when it comes to me branching out and being on camera with 5 or 6 other YouTubers. You know what I mean? It's new to me. But I've got to get over the prison thing. I've got to come out of my shell. I'm not too big to deal with the next man. We talked about this. So I do. What did my dude Chill Will? Salute, Big Chill Will. Jay, I know that you have a lot on your plate already, but can you do a Thanksgiving drive in your area? Have your subscribers donate. I will do the same in Dallas, of course. I will donate to your drive. Much love, bro. Absolutely. We've already got something in the midst with the nonprofits, but I think it's time that I step out and I start doing things on my own. I want to continue to help them. And my homeboy Kevin Wilmoth, he's damn near a genius. He said it as well. He's like, when are the Jay Williams nonprofits coming? You're helping do things with others, and that's great because that's helping them help others. But you have the ability to do it yourself. Why are you not? And it goes back to there are so many hours in a day. But yeah, let's set it up. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's give back. Everybody should want to give back, and I'm going to look into that this week. The one more thing, real quick. I had made the Halloween merch to put up. I do not know what's going on with YouTube. I go to my Spring account. My Spring account is linked to my YouTube. My merch is not showing up at all. My old merch isn't showing. It won't allow me to attach the new merch. I don't know if Spring is tripping, YouTube's tripping, but won't be dropping any type of merch anytime soon until I can figure out why they won't let me upload it. But thanks again, Chill Will. And the Thanksgiving drive is a great idea. It's a great idea. We'll come together. We'll put it together. I don't really like videotaping people when it comes to them being down and out. I don't like putting people on camera that don't want to be on camera. And if I'm doing bad, the last thing I want to do is have some guy show up with a camera and like take a video of me getting a free turkey. It's like, damn, dude, I got to go over here, but I got to feed my family. And then tomorrow I'm on some dude's YouTube channel because he wanted to make a video about it. I'll definitely do it. 100% I'll do it. I'm all about helping. And anybody that wants to come out and be a part of it can absolutely come out and be a part of it. Now, if I can figure out a way that we can blur everybody's faces, then we'll do it. And even if we can't blur their faces, we'll do it. We just won't put it on camera. Let me get back to this comment. Let me see. Scroll up. I need to. John Stevens, Jay, you almost got 25 years. Your lawyer told you to get either 10, 17, or 25 at sentencing. Do you still think about that every single day? It was when he first called me. When he first called me in the back, my first offer was for 27. And he was such a bad, crooked lawyer. I'm trying to figure out his name. I don't want to bash the wrong person. I remember my lawyer in Philly's name was Mazernter, Robert Mazernter. And my lawyer here in Virginia's name, Smallenberg, was his last name. He was working with the prosecution. I had no chance at beating my case because my lawyer was working with them against me. They have what's called a speedy trial violation here in Virginia, which means they have a set amount of time to get you in front of a judge and to have you tried, or you beat your charge on a technicality. I was days away from beating that charge, that case, on a technicality when he went to the prosecutor and brought that to their attention, and they got me an emergency bond hearing and dropped my bond, which I had no bond, to 35,000. Can you come up with 3,500? Absolutely. And got me out. Had that not have happened, I would have beat my case. I would have went to trial. I would have beat it on a speedy trial violation technicality. They came at me first time with a 27-year plea. And I remember when he said that, I was like, 27? That's a life sentence. Like, what do you mean plea? Where is the plea in 27? You're tripping. Nah, I can't, nah. So he rolled out. Next time, Jay, you probably won't get an offer like this. You better take it. You better take it 17. What you mean take 17? You're saying this like I got to do this time, man. You're like, just take 17. No, I'm not taking 17. We're gonna fight it. That's what we said, right? We're gonna fight it. Don't sound like you're fighting very much. I ended up with a 10 piece out of it. That 10 was exactly what was needed. Let's be real here. That 10 was what was needed. I've seen guys do 5 years, come out and reoffend within the first 6 months because they hadn't done enough time. They hadn't suffered enough. They hadn't felt enough pain. They hadn't been alone enough to think about what they had done wrong and what they needed to do right. That 10 was the perfect number for me. Everything started clicking for me at about 8 years. About 8 years in, I started to not only see the change, I started to feel the change. I started to live the change and become the change. That 10 years saved me. 27 would have been crazy because then I would just be a great guy that would be in prison for 27 years and would probably end up killing somebody in that amount of time, protecting myself. 17 would have been a waste because after that 10, then you got 7 more years to go. And I'm just sitting there rotting away. The 10 years did save me. But looking back on it, had I they took that they gave me that 27, man, you do it. And peep game when it comes to this, man. Going to prison is no badge of honor. It's nothing spectacular. It's not something we choose to do. Like the military, I salute them dudes, man, because they sign up for that. With the streets, we know what comes along with it, but we don't sign up for prison. If they had a piece of paper that we could sign that says, I don't go to prison, nobody would sign the paper to go. When they sentence you, you're going to go do your time. You could be the little weakest nerd in the neighborhood or the biggest, strongest, toughest killer on the block. Both of you are going to go do your time. So don't preach to me about how going to prison makes you tough or makes you this or makes you that. No, it doesn't, because you didn't have a choice in the matter. Now, with that being said, a lot of dudes are not honest about how their prison bids were. They're not. A useful idiot. Jay, did you ever have any pets in prison, like a mouse, stray cat, bird, etc.? Several situations where we had pet mice, praying mantises, things like that. But I was never really one to get attached to anything because in getting attached to things, you have to say goodbye. I said goodbye the day that I got locked up. And from there, I tried not to really get attached to anybody or any object. So I didn't. There were guys that had pets. There was a guy that had the cat out in the loading dock that died. And other stray cats would make their way into the prisons, and guys would like really learn to love these animals. They started the dog program of Greensville, and guys would learn to love these dogs, train these dogs to get out and help people with special needs, or the dog be trained for specific things. But then after being with this dog for a year and working with it, you would have to give it to somebody, watch it leave. And I watched quite a few guys get like real emotional over letting go of them dogs. But me, no, I never really had any pets, man. John Stevens, Jay, did anyone visit you in prison that surprised you? Philly's visit to prison surprised me. When he came to see me, it surprised me. He actually used someone else's ID that he looked similar to, which the guards up there did not do a good job because he did not really resemble that dude at all. But he got in with that guy's ID. When you're released from prison, you're not allowed to just go back up to the prison and go visit people. There's a certain time and process you have to go through to be able to go back into the prison and talk to people. But he used somebody's ID, and they tell you beforehand who's in the visiting room, who's coming to see you. I've turned down a lot of visits in the past because I'm not going over there to see them. I told them not to come up here. No. But when I seen the name, I'm like, who is this? And I go in there, and there's a jacket on a chair, and there's somebody else that came with this person. She's now dead. Rest in peace. And she didn't tell me that it was Philly. So I'm seeing the jacket, and I'm like, damn. And then when he came out the bathroom, I seen him, and I was like, oh, this first time I had seen him since last time I'd seen him was at trial. And he's done his 6 years. I'm still on my 10. We're at like year number 7 for me, and I just gave him a big hug. That one shocked me. That one shocked me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do something I don't do. I'm going to drop the link, and I'm going to let people come in. And I'm going to let y'all do some talking. See how this goes. Not something I do, but let's see how it goes. Let me interact. Like I said, it comes a time where I got to stop being so withdrawn. I got to stop living as if there's my dude. It's my guy, Breadwinner Ruger, man. It's always a pleasure to have Mr.
What's
Breadwinner
good,
Ruger
bro?
in the house. What's good, man?
Shit, bro. I'm doing my roof, bro.
What are you doing on the roof?
Some shingles.
Listen, you need me call 911, man. You all right?
Shit, I might. I might need you to call. Bro, it's dark and I'm still doing this shit.
Yeah, that's not safe, man. You should probably climb down and do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that's what we on.
Yeah, that's what you about to be off. This is for y'all that don't know, man. This is Breadwinner Ruger. You can find him on his channel, Breadwinner Ruger, and you can also find him on New Age Plug. Go over, tap into my dude. He's an amazing dad, and I don't say that about a lot of guys. Go over, check in with him, man. Make sure you hit and subscribe. Let me check out, see who Nova is, bringing Nova into the stream. What's good, Nova?
What's good? What's good? How you doing?
I'm living, man. How are you doing? How are you doing? Thank you for coming on.
Nah, man, good. Big fan. Love the content. Me and my wife, we watch you all the time.
Salute. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Tell me about you, man. What's your life like?
Uh Not as tough as yours, but just hanging in there, just trying to survive. It's a little tough out here.
That's
I mean, I work overnight and my wife works at the bank during the day, so we kind of try to rotate and try to, maintain.
right. We all go through struggles, man. Some of ours are harder than others, but they're struggles nonetheless.
Yeah.
You know, I can't say that my struggle's any worse than yours. You see things through your eyes. I see them through mine. We all struggle, man. But I salute you for continuing to fight the good fight, man. You know?
I had a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What was your most difficult while you were in there?
What do you mean?
All right, you know how most times people go in and there's always that one moment where it's like they want to break and just something stops them from breaking. Like, have you ever had a moment where you felt like it was your breaking moment?
Yeah, mine was looking out the window, man. That actually, I was like, I was so tired of being locked up and surrounded by people, and it did. I remember the night I was looking out my cell window at these deer standing in this field, and I was actually trying to figure out a way to escape. I'm like, how can I get out of here? Which there's no way. But I'm watching these animals stand in this field, and I'm watching these perimeter vehicles drive by, and I'm looking at like the moon in the sky and it reflecting off the treetops. And in that moment, I realized what I had done to my life. Like it really, truly, sometimes it takes many years before your incarceration really sets in on you. And it set in on me what I had done to myself. I looked at my family's photos, and it was like at that moment, everything came crashing down. And that was a big thing to deal with. That was very hard to accept. You know what I mean? Like I didn't accept it early on. I just kind of hid it behind the violence. I always kept something going on, and in keeping things going on, it kept my mind busy. But it was hard when I finally came to terms with, the people I'd hurt in life, coming to terms with leaving my mom behind, my son behind, the damage. That was hard to swallow because it all happened at once. Just that realization of self and taking responsibility. That was one of my hardest moments, was just looking at myself in the mirror. It's not what most people would think. Oh, somebody trying to hurt me, or that's not what it was. It was like really coming to terms with who I was. That was hard. I
Okay.
knew I was a good person. I knew I was, people told me I was a good person while I was in there at times, but I still did these terrible things in life that didn't make me feel like a good person. And that sucked. It sucked really bad.
Okay. Wow. That's, okay. I kind of feel you on that one. I understand.
Yeah. Like you ever had to I spent so much of my life sedated, like drunk, so much of my life, you know, messed up on pills that what I was doing in day to day didn't really affect me because I was inebriated. But then just sitting there looking out that window and just like looking at life and all the drama I had caused to everybody else, for the first time ever, it started to hurt me. Nobody wants to be the bad guy or look at themselves as a piece of shit. And I had to come to terms with what I had done. And aside from that, I would say that the second hardest thing was there's certain people you want to hurt at times and you can't. I mean, you might be around somebody that has got some very heinous charges that just everything in you tells you to go over there and just tear his head off.
Yeah.
But then you look at that picture of your son on your wall and you know that after you tear his head off, you'll never be able to be that child's father again. Those are that's hard to deal with. You know, hearing a man brag about something he's done to somebody, and you just want to make him feel that pain that person felt. But in making him feel that pain, your kids are going to have to feel that pain because you're never coming home again. That shit is hard to deal with, man.
Okay. I hear that. Wow. Sorry you had to go through that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it happens. My kill, how you doing tonight, my guy?
I'm good. Yeah, I've been subscribed to you for like about 6 months now.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I had a question. Like, did you ever get stabbed in prison?
Yeah, actually, the first time I got stabbed, I was in between two guys, man, and this is why I got off my psych meds. They had me on psych meds, and the guy in front of me, I walked in the chow hall, and I kind of stumbled in. I was on Thorazine at the time, and you're not supposed to cut in front of people, but I wasn't really cutting. We were just merging as we were coming through the door, and as I came through the door, there was a guy behind me, and there was a guy in front of me. Well, these two dudes had some type of beef brewing, and I'm still like halfway in and out of my Thorazine shuffle when the guy in front of me starts attacking the guy behind me. And it literally was like slow motion as everything was going on. It was happening. Like arms were coming around me and hit me around the side of my face. And I was getting like punched. I was like literally sandwiched in between these two guys. And I threw my hands up and I tried to move. When I did, the dude stabbed me in my wrist. And I still didn't like really comprehend what was going on from the Thorazine. I'm looking and I'm dazed and I'm like, oh shit. Meanwhile, they done got to hold each other and they're stabbing each other up. And I'm just standing there looking at my wrist as all this blood flows out. And then the guards come in and grab me and grab these guys and took us up out of there. There was a couple other situations. I had a racist cellmate stab me in my thigh with a number 2 pencil. I was sitting on the top bunk and we got to arguing and he stabbed me on the inside of my thigh. And I didn't even know he stabbed me. We got to fighting. And as they were taking me to medical, because I had my blood on me, his blood on me, they found the pencil inside my thigh. And that was kind of weird watching her pull this long ass piece of a pencil out of my leg. But there were a couple other situations I won't really get into because it never really came to light when it came to as far as the cases. But yeah, it's happened. And I've seen a lot of it. It sucked.
Damn. Wait, so what is like Thorazine?
What is what?
Thorazine.
Thorazine is a medication they give to crazy people. It's a medication they give to guys that need to be sedated. And they were giving me Thorazine to more or less, they couldn't, in the jail, I was fighting a lot. I was wilding out. And they started giving me Thorazine to try and control me. It pretty much leaves you like all day long, just loopy, to where if you wanted to be violent, you can't because you're just sedated. And you look up Thorazine and the side effects from it, it's a nasty, nasty medication.
Yeah. Wait, so like, did you have to take it like every day or like?
I took it 3 times a day. They used to do kill call. I'd take it first thing in the morning. I'd take it again in the evenings, and then I would take it at night. And it was just way, way too much, man. Like you wake up and the side effects from it would carry on throughout the day. And prison's not a place you want to be moving in slow motion. You want to be able to act and react. And I wasn't able to react. So I stopped taking it. I told them I wasn't taking no more of the medications, and things got better. Okay, Mr. Chris Wilson, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good, bro. How are you?
I'm good. I'm blessed, man. I'm here. I ain't got no complaints.
Hey Jay, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm happy. I'm alive. Like
Hey,
I said,
I'm over here. I'm over here in the Westerfield County. Are you still going to do the tow truck thing with the CDL and all that?
oh shit, you're not far from me. You're like, oh, shit, I'm in Chesterfield.
Yeah, I mean, if you need
Yeah,
help
we're
getting your
working on it.
CDL, I'll be more than glad to teach you.
Well, the biggest thing right now
Well,
is
I can teach you how to get your pre-trip done, all that stuff.
the biggest thing I'm dealing with right
Go ahead.
now is getting the tow truck driver's license, the actual permits to run and own the business as a felon. They're not big on letting guys that have
Oh,
criminal histories.
what is it? Is that the bar? The bar?
Yes, they're not big on letting guys that have criminal histories just come take people's cars. I mean, like, what are you
Right.
going to do with that
Gotcha.
car? Like, they're not big on that. So that's what I'm dealing with now, is actually being
Yeah, I
able
thought
to deal with that. So
Well, if you get it up and running and you want to get your CDL, I'll gladly help you. I
Where
can't
you-
drive anymore because I got COVID and Go ahead.
I'm listening to you.
I got COVID and it shredded my lungs and they threw me on oxygen, so I had to give up my medical card. I still got my CDL, just I can't get a medical card. But if you wanted to learn how to do the pre-trip, and I've been trucking for 26 years, and I'd be more glad to teach you everything I know
I appreciate it, man.
when it comes
I
to a
appreciate
truck
it.
and how it works and all that.
Right now, we're doing more or less repairs.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe
we have the lifts up and running. We're doing we got a mechanic at the shop. He's running car repairs day in and day out. And that's so soon we're going to go into
Well, that's
the towing aspect.
yeah. All right. Well, I'll try and keep in touch with you, man.
I appreciate it, man. And if you ever see
I
me out
figure
and
I'd jump
about,
up and see, you know, if you.
you'll see me. I'm off Hall Street. I'm in Chesterfield. You'll see
All right,
me.
I gladly help you, man. You
All right,
have a
thank
good
you,
night,
sir.
brother.
You too, man. Be safe. All right, we got Camo. How you doing tonight, Mr. Camo?
Hey Jay, salute from Australia.
Australian house.
Answer.
Hey, man, you live in one of the places I've always dreamed of going, man. It's crazy how quick we can just connect on TV, and you're in a place that I could only dream of being.
Oh, I'd love you to come here, mate. I don't know how many people watch you. I think I'm the only one from Australia. I don't know.
No. I have a big following in Australia.
Oh,
It shows
good.
me my analytics, like Europe, Australia, all over there. It's a lot of love, man. So how's life for you? You an ex-con or just an everyday guy?
No, I'm not an ex-con, but I had 15 years of pain pill addiction, and it pretty much destroyed my life like jail did yours.
Yeah.
But I believe I'm a better person now, like you.
Right. See, here's the thing: we don't fully grow up, man, until we've already been through all our bullshit.
Yeah.
In your 20s, you're still 20, and then your 30s, you start finding yourself, and then I think in your middle 30s, your late 30s, you really blossom into who you're going to be. But for some of us, we go through a whole bunch of bullshit before we get there.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly say I appreciate everything you do, Jay, and love watching your videos, and you're helping a lot of people all over the world.
Well, that means the world to me, man. And thank you for watching. And you tell everybody else out there, man, I said salute and I love all you guys, man. And I'm proud of you. If nobody's told you lately, you did it. You beat your addiction, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you, sir. Salute. Thank you.
Salute, Camel. Be safe, man.
Thanks, mate.
Who else we got? Chris Wilson, what's going on tonight?
Hey, how's it going, brother? How are you?
I'm good, man. I've got no complaints, man. I'm gonna jump off here in a few minutes, go in
That
and
ain't
eat
no
some dinner
lie.
with my kids. I'm happy.
Oh yeah, man. Congrats on being sober. I'm sober now. It's been 6 years. I got addicted in the military because, of course, I got hurt and they just feed you full of pills. And it was back before the, epidemic of the pain meds. So I didn't know anything about them. Just do what I was told. Took them. Ended up getting addicted. Had no clue. I got frustrated over it, threw them away, and was like, "No, I'm not doing this no more." And I didn't know I was going to go through withdrawals or none of that. Ended up finding out the hard way, and so mad respect to you for getting clean and sober off of the booze and all that. Because I'll tell
You
you
have a
right now,
common
it was the biggest
story.
struggle of my life.
Your story is a story I've heard 1,000 times. Guys get hurt and they think that what they're taking it's okay because the doctor's giving it to them, and then the doctor takes it away.
Well,
And
they
then
didn't even take it away. They were giving me $300 a month, bro, without fail. I didn't even have to go see them. I was in the oil field working, and all I had to do was call up, tell them I wanted it refilled and shipped to me. And it literally, like clockwork. Like, I mean, they didn't give a damn. I don't think I seen my doctor one time in 8 years. I finally got them to admit that they got me addicted to the pain meds and make it part of my disability rating from the fucking service. But it's because they screwed up. They sent me the wrong file. So I had all their doctor's notes when they were saying, yeah, I'd never seen no addiction to him before the service. Otherwise, I would have never gotten it. But
how did you
even my
come
doc
off of
doesn't
them?
believe it.
How did you come off? Did they
Ended
help
up
you off?
they tried getting me on methadone and all that. And I just looked at it as that's the same as like taking morphine or oxy, oxy 80s when you're on, Percocets or something. And so I said, nah, I'm good. It ain't gonna happen. So then they got me on Suboxone, and Suboxone finally got me off of them.
Yeah, I agree to some of that stuff to a certain extent, but I don't think that people should be on it for years. I think
No,
no sooner
but
than they
that's the
get you
thing.
on it, they should be trying to figure out how to get you off of it and get you
And I
back to
could
being
not agree
sober.
more.
They get. I've
Agree
met guys
more,
that have been
bro.
on methadone for 5-10 years. You
Well,
should
I'll tell
not
you right
be.
now, I tried methadone one time, bro, pill form. Tried it one time, 5 milligram pills of methadone to see if it would help me get off of them back before I knew anything about any other drugs to get you off of it. And the withdrawal from the methadone was 10 times worse than the pain meds themselves.
Right.
Wow.
So it was like, what's the point in that? I had to take pain meds to get the withdrawal from the methadone to go down. Like, it was insane, bro. After that, I was like, there's no way in hell. I ain't taking that shit.
So
Ain't
did you just
happening.
cold turkey?
Nah, I ended up doing the Suboxone because I was chasing the high. And, right. I wanted to feel normal like I did the first time I took them, being able to, like, play with my kids and not be miserable. And so, of course, it helped at first because it put a Band-Aid over and made it where I could play with my kids again, which gave me back some kind of normalcy of my life. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I didn't know what it was doing to me in the long run of making it to where I'd be chasing that. I had no clue. And
did you stick to the
finally
pills
it
or
was
did it
like,
go from the pills on to something else?
nah, man, I stuck to the pills, but I mean, I ended up like getting oxys and smoking them, things like that. But I was chasing that high. I was chasing the feeling like normal. You know what I mean? And
Right. You just want to be yourself again. You want to be who you were before the
yeah,
pill started.
exactly. Well, and you want before you ever got injured. I got
Right.
injured with a guy coming through the gate with a gun trying to kill 6 people on his ship in Little Creek Base in Virginia. And I wasn't even supposed to be on watch. I was standing watch for a buddy of mine that had a baby, so he missed his watch standing. So I jumped up and said we had switched, and I took over his watch. And the dude come through the gate with a gun, trying to kill people on a ship that were making fun of him, and ended up going toe to toe, and I smashed my radio into his face so that I could get him to stop, and you know, that's how I ended up getting injured.
Damn. So that's well, your career was over after that, huh?
Yeah, they kept telling me I was gonna go back, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm good with that. Like, get your stuff ready. So I got everything prepped and ready, and then when I got back to base after my leave was up, I found out that I was no longer really in the service, and they didn't do a medical separation, they did an admin separation, basically saying I couldn't meet standards in order to stay in the service. It was almost like as if I was overweight.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even though I wasn't. And so they did it based that way so that they didn't have to take care of me medically. And then it took me, I think it was like 4 years or 5 years after that to finally start getting help with my disability rating.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I
Well, I
barely got.
salute you, man, and I thank you for your service, man. And I'm sorry you had to go through all that, but at the end of the day, would you say you're back to who you used to be?
Yeah, for the most part, you know what I mean. Like, I got my kids, I got my wife. You know, I
What
do
more could
IT
you ask
work
for?
now. I was working in the oil field until I got injured, and after that I went into IT. So now I do IT work.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys, man, that they got hurt either on the job or doing whatever, and that's for a lot of my friends. That's how it started off. They got hurt, and they were put on pills by the doctors, and then the pills would either get cut off or slowly get slowed down, and then they would start turning to other things to not want to be sick, to try to
Oh yeah, on top of
maintain
those
just
300 I
day-to-day
was getting a
life.
month, I was probably buying 700 of them. You know what I mean? Like, I was
Wow.
hustling, grinding. So I was taking almost 1,000 pills a month, bro.
Right.
Like,
Wow, 1,000 pills.
on
That's
the regular, I was taking between 30 to 50 of them a day, and it wasn't. Still walking, talking like normal.
You're lucky
Uh,
your liver's not mush.
oh, dude, I'm blessed, bro. Honestly, like, I'm way blessed. Blessed that I didn't OD. Like, I don't know how many times I was getting fentanyl patches from a friend of mine at $2 a piece, and we were smoking the shit out of those. Like,
Oh wow.
things that should have killed me,
wow.
bro, didn't. And you know, I'm blessed. I'm the first person that my doc that dealt with my Suboxone stuff. I'm the first person that he's been doing it almost 30 years. First person that he's seen where they admitted that they got me addicted.
I think
Like,
we
I'm the
all
only
kind of
one
got the
he's ever
similar
met.
story.
Yeah,
A
it's
lot
Yeah, we
of
crazy,
sure
bro.
do.
C-Dog, how you
It's
doing
crazy.
tonight, man?
I'm doing great, man. How you been, man?
I'm just doing it, man. Doing what I do, man. No complaints here at all. A little tired, but I can't complain, man.
Yeah, I'm out here in Mexico, man. Where it's one of a kind out here.
Where are you at? Where are you at in Mexico?
I'm right here in Tijuana, right here in Playas Baja.
Okay. Yeah, my wife's family, they're from Chihuahua. They're actually from like a little village right over beside Chihuahua, but now they're out in New
Okay,
Mexico. I
Hey
hear
man,
you.
salute all the guys on the panel. I'm sorry, Jay. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
salute,
No
salute,
problem.
salute, man.
Mad
So
salute
how's
to
Salute.
y'all
Mexico,
too.
man? Be real. How's Mexico? Do you work out there?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Mexico, bro, it's a whole different animal. It's like basically the government, wants to keep their foot on your neck. Like it's like they don't give you nothing. You know what I mean? Like wages are like real cheap out here. Like man, you go to work. I was getting paid for working like what was it like four? It was four days, and they were giving me like about man. They were paying me. Man, I don't even think I was making. I think I was making about $100, bro, in 4 days.
Wow.
You know,
You
and,
know, I
and
know
working
guys,
at
man. I know
I
guys
was
that
working
work
at
here that would
yeah,
save up all their money and send it
right,
home.
yeah,
They
exactly,
would.
yeah,
They'd be like, man, you
Yep.
don't understand what this money is going to do when I send it home. Like sending $2,000 back to Mexico. They're like, man, that shit
yeah,
is going to take care of my family. Like nothing like what it would do here. They're like having $2,000 in Mexico is a big deal. You
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
because you figure like you can rent a spot, right? They got places like it just depends on how it looks or whatever, but you can actually get a spot for like $80, you know, $80. Of course, you ain't gonna get nothing fancy, but
Right.
you know, you have a roof over your shoulder, water and all that, you know.
Right.
Jay, man, I just wanted to say one thing, get off here real quick, so I don't want to take up the panel, right? Hey, man, you've given me a lot of inspiration here over the last couple of weeks, bro. Especially you coming on my live and stuff. That was a pretty deep. It was a pretty deep. It was a pretty deep live with us, right?
Yeah, man. I enjoyed it.
It was great, man. Everybody enjoyed it. If you look at the views, everybody enjoyed it. But
Mad
man,
respect.
uh, I just like I said, Moon. I'm going. My momentum is getting so much faster and stronger every day with this dude, and it's coming at me fast, almost too fast to handle. So I got to figure out a way to handle it. You know what I mean? The
Slow
trolls are
down.
starting to come.
Slow down.
I did an 8-hour live last night, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, all I can tell you to do is like slow down. Like
Yeah,
you're the one that's going live. You're the one that's doing it. The
yeah,
trolls are gonna come. I told you that.
yeah,
The
yeah.
guys that you're cool with today, you may not be cool with tomorrow.
Right,
That's gonna happen fast. But only you can post those videos. Only you can go live. Nobody's making you do
right.
it. And you start to
No,
feel like it's too much. Slow down.
okay, man. I just wanted a little bit of advice from you.
Yeah, nobody's gonna stop watching. If you don't post for a day, they're not gonna stop watching. You're not gonna fall out of the algorithm. You're not gonna disappear. But you've got to, if it starts to get to be too much, you got to take some time for yourself, or you'll start to dislike this. You'll start to take it out on people that haven't done anything to you. Start snapping on guys around you, and that shit ain't cool. So slow down.
Okay, man.
It'll
Thank you,
happen.
dude.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you
It's
for
okay,
that.
baby.
But hey, man, thank you for letting me up here, brother. And I appreciate you joining my live like you did the other night, man. That was great. I hope you come back again, man.
Yeah, man. Everything ain't about money, man. If you really want to help people, that don't come with a price tag.
No, yeah, no, that man, money. If it was about money, man, I'd be hurting. So anyway, uh, uh, but man, all you guys have a good evening, Jay. I appreciate you letting me up here. Uh, damn, that looks like Zebby over there next to me.
That
It
is
But
is.
Zebby.
huh?
It
That
is.
is Zebby.
Oh, what's up, dog?
What's good, bro?
No, man, damn. I was like, damn, that keeps because I never get to see but a side profile of you, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, man. But yeah, I'll be on a little while later, dude. If you want to stop by. Whatever. Anybody's welcome.
Yeah, I'll be over there.
I got this real quick. Uh, I've really started this thing with letting pretty much. Now, if they're gonna act a fool, they get off, right? This is with everybody. But man, people are coming in by the droves. I mean, having 50 people in a chat's nothing, but to me, it's a lot, right?
It is something.
Uh,
It is something.
Thank you.
That is something. That's a lot of people.
And it's constant. It stays with me the whole, however long I'm going.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think I can handle those hours tonight, man. I gotta get some rest.
Yeah, you don't want to burn out.
No, man, but man, like I said, much love to all you guys. Zebby, I'll talk to you later, man, on the
Yeah,
side.
for sure.
And Jay, there might be coming up sometime when I see you very soon. I don't know if you've talked or not, but anyway,
Just reach out to me, man, and let me know.
I will, buddy.
All right, you get yourself some rest, man. Stay off the computer tonight. Get some rest.
I'm gonna go for about 2 hours, then I'm done.
Here we
Man.
go with that bullshit. Get some rest.
Hey, I'm waiting for you to get done, and I'm gonna go about 2 hours, bro. I just got to, man.
I respect it, man. That's gonna be like that, but you'll get tired. You'll get
I
tired.
will. I know. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
And you
But,
give them too much of it, man, they'll stop watching. If it becomes
You're right.
too much, they'll stop
Right.
watching.
That's why I'm gonna do 2 hours tonight, and I'm done.
Yeah, you have to kind of spoon feed these type of things, man. You can drown people with it, and they'll get tired of it real fast.
Yep.
You know, so
All right.
especially 10 hours.
Yeah, man, that was a lot. It just people kept rolling in, and a new topic would come in, and you know how shit goes. But anyway, excuse my language, man. Sorry about that. But everybody, like I said, C-Dog, bro, you know how it is, man. Hey, I'll catch you on the next one. I don't know who the gentleman is up on the upper right corner.
That's
Uh,
Lamar, man.
all right, what's up, man?
What's going on, buddy?
I'm Big Weavy, brother.
Heck yeah, man. I'm gonna check your live out too later on tonight too here, buddy.
Hey, come in, man. Everybody's welcome. You're welcome on the panel or anything.
Gotcha.
Zebby, you know you always welcome in the house, bro.
For sure, I'll stop by.
And Jay, you got the red carpet here, so y'all be good, man.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right, salute. All right, we got Mars Gotti. You've been in the background for a minute. How you doing tonight, man?
Man, I'm doing good, Jay. Man, I just want to say one thing, man, for the people to hear, man. I don't want to drag it out too long, Jay, man, but you a real one, bro. You're getting a lot of love from Kansas City, Missouri, bro. You literally inspired me, bro, to get the hell off my ass, out of my goddamn car, bro. And I literally just started working with my municipal water department like 2 weeks ago, man. You
Hell yeah.
sent me, I don't want to put too much out there, but you sent me a couple of bucks, man, to help me out like 2 lives ago, bro. And
Right.
and when I get this check on Friday, bro, I'm gonna take care of you, bro. I'm gonna make sure you get
No,
your
no, no,
payment
no.
back,
You give it
man.
to somebody else that needs it, man. Pay it
Bet,
forward.
man.
You find somebody else in your circle or on a street corner, just somebody you know, and you give it to them.
Yes, sir, man. I
And I'm
definitely
glad you've
appreciate
impacted
you,
your life, man, and you pay it forward.
bro.
That's
I
what you do.
promise.
You help somebody else, man.
Yes, sir,
Doing
man.
shit like that, we can
Man, that
make it
shit.
better.
Man, this shit it's crazy, man. How one day I came across your one of your videos, bro, and I've been hooked ever since, man. And when you helped me out that day, bro, I said I can't let this shit go to waste, bro. I literally got up off my ass, man, did what I need to do, clean myself up a little bit, bro. And I'm literally about to get I busted 130 something hours, bro. I got like 50 something hours of overtime, bro. I'm about to put down on this fucking apartment when I get paid on Friday, bro.
Hell yeah.
I can't fucking wait, bro. I promise you, bro. I'm
I
about to
told you,
get
ain't nobody change your life but you, man. Ain't nobody come
exactly.
along and do it for you. They're not.
No, no, sir,
If
not at all,
somebody
man.
throws you an alley oop, you take it and run with it.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
know,
sir,
not
man. It
many
was
people
definitely
in life are gonna do that for you. You take that opportunity and you make the best of it, man. And when the time comes along, give it back to somebody else.
yes, sir. I got you, buddy, man. I got you, man. Thank you very much, bro.
Hey,
I definitely appreciate it, bro. You hear me?
Gotti, I'm proud of you, man. And you keep doing what you do, man. You keep doing what you do, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm on it, buddy. And I'm gonna continue to look out, you know what I'm saying? I don't skip no ads, man. You know what I'm saying? I play my part, you know what I mean,
Hell
dude?
yeah.
Hell yeah, I know how it go, man. God bless y'all, man. Y'all be safe out here too.
Hey, Mars. Hey,
Yes, bro.
salute, man. We love you, man. And congratulations, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
Zebby, what's good, Zebby?
What's going on, bro?
I
I
ain't
don't
doing
want to
shit,
take up
man. I
too much
seen
of
you.
your Sunday.
No, you're good, man. I'm about to go. I'm gonna jump off in a minute and do this trick or treat. They got this car wash, like a haunted car wash.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go through it with the kids.
that's what's up.
So how are you? How are you
I'm good.
recovering?
You know, it's going not as fast as I wanted to, but I guess everything takes time, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But it's going all right.
What are
I
they
just
saying? What's the recovery time?
so I went last Monday and I was supposed to get my date for my neck surgery, and that's not even in discussion anymore because it's taken so long for me to recover from the right arm. So it's kind of, you know, a little down about that, but it is what it is. They told me just, you know, I can't compare myself to other people and how quick they recovered, and I just gotta stick to my own plan and everything, and you know, just keep doing the physical therapy 3 days a week and see how it goes. It's not the answer I wanted, but at least
Was this an automobile accident?
nah, work.
Work. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, even with
work.
all that being said, man, always keep into consideration that you're still here.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
could have died. So a lot
yeah,
of people aren't as fortunate. So if the worst you're dealing with is like trying to figure out the bills and your pride that comes with being a man and being the provider, that's
exactly.
much better than the alternative.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
like don't let your pride get in your way or stop you. Like take your time, do what you got to do. You will bounce back. This will be something you'll look back on one day. You know, like just go through the motions, do what you're supposed to do, and in due time you'll get where you want to be, man. But you're gonna have to get better before anything.
yeah, for
There's no
sure.
shame in saying I'm hurt. You got hurt.
Yeah,
Now, if you're just laying on the couch all day drinking 40s and smoking blunts, then you know what I mean. Then we got a problem.
yeah,
But to be hurt, there's no shame in that, man.
Yeah.
You're human. You're not a fucking T-1000. You're not a Terminator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're human, made
Yeah.
of flesh and bone. You get hurt.
Yeah. And that's the problem. I was working like I was invincible, and you just keep pushing. Eventually something's gonna happen, doing stuff, with whatever they give you, and not doing it the right way, and knowing that it's wrong, but you don't really have an option because you're not the boss. You just do what you're told to do, and trying to be a good worker and get the jobs done with half-ass stuff. And sometimes this is the end result, but it sucks. But I think honestly, the way stuff has been going, I think it was a blessing in disguise. It really sucks that I'm out, and everything that's going on and all that stuff. But honestly, over the past week, and that live that Big Weavy was talking about, and you shout me out and everything, bro, and just talking to you, and honestly, I think it was a blessing in disguise, because I look at that job like an abusive relationship, like someone that's getting beat but always goes back.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how it was, you know what I mean? Everything with, like, the money was right. I was making good money, but the job just wasn't. They weren't treating me right, and they didn't have the right stuff to do stuff, and weren't quoting stuff in the right times, and so everything was always a nightmare. Everything was always on my back, and honestly, I think this might have been the little wake up call that I needed to go find something different and not go back there when I'm done.
Sometimes things happen for a reason, huh?
Yeah,
You might not see it when it happens, but later on down the line, years down the line, you find yourself in a different position, and it all makes sense. It's like, yo, had I never got hurt, I would have never had this opportunity. I would have never met this person, and in meeting this person, it opened up this door and this door and this door. It might look like, the end of the road, or just the ultimate, oh my God, what are we going to do from here? But you fast forward, and then you look back on it, and it starts to make sense, man.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be your story. One day you're going to look back and you're going to be like, damn, had I not had that time off to make this move and this move and that move, I would have been at work and this would have never happened. So just count your blessings, man.
Yeah. My bad. I got a call.
I got to peel out. My wife is texting me.
Yeah. I'm getting calls now too.
I'm going to take my kids on this haunted little thing tonight and make sure I appreciate y'all tapping in with me.
Yeah, we appreciate you,
I can help you to do with your channel. Reach out to me, Zebby.
Yeah, for sure. Have a good night,
bro. Advice, any type of thing I can.
All right, bro. I appreciate it.
All right.
As always.
All right, C-Dog. I appreciate
all right,
you,
my brother. God bless you, man. Thank you for letting me tap in with you, man.
Hey, yeah, man. You be safe over there, man. You be safe.
Yeah. I got my own channel, man. I got a YouTube channel, man.
What's the name of your channel? I thought I knew you. I seen you before somewhere. I've dealt with you before, I believe.
Yeah, it's called the C-Dog and Cooper Show podcast.
Okay, that's where I know you from. I seen you on somebody else's show the other night too.
Yeah. Maybe you could tap in with me. You know what I'm saying? And we could do a live together or something.
That's a lock, man. I'm definitely gonna come over, man. That's 100% a lock, man.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. God bless you, man. You're a good man. Keep up the good work, man.
Hell yeah. Thank you, man. I salute you. Be safe in Mexico, man.
Blessings, man. Blessings. God bless, man.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all for hanging in. I know everybody just wants to hear me talk, but in being real, you have to pass the mic sometimes. You have to let other people speak. Let other people come on. I've got to learn to deal with others and reach out to others, man. And that's what we did tonight. If I have the time, I will jump back on live later. I just missed y'all. I missed this. I've been working so much. I haven't had time for any of this. And now it's time for me to go spend some time with my kids. But anyways, these jails, detention centers, these prisons, these facilities, they're all just crazier worlds inside of a already crazy world we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And like always, this is Jay Williams. Let's live life. And to all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching, because y'all still watching me. Man, y'all know how we do. Salute. I love y'all. Thank y'all all for tapping in. And until next time.